lights go out, we start moving. Running through it all like dope, we ain't losing. We ain't gonna fall back, now we going in. Ain't nobody stopping us, only option to win. So we take it all, never fall on gas. And we going hard, no flaws, all facts. If you wanna call it a bloodless dance, but you better trust that you stand no chance. We on that next level. We on that next level. We on that next level. No capping, ain't nobody quite as good when I'm rapping. When I hit the stage, the flames they start flying. Ironic, the king of the jungle, but not lying. Wouldn't be as good as me if I stopped trying. Better just pick a corner and start crying. I'll be the one they looked up to when I'm crushing down. I was born for the throne, I look good in that crown. When the lights go out, we start moving. Running through it all like dope, we ain't losing. We ain't gonna fall back, now we going in. Ain't nobody stopping us, only option to win. So we take it all, never fall on gas. And we going hard, no flaws, all facts. If you wanna call it a bloodless dance, but you better trust that you stand no chance. We on that next level.
Well, that was when we said welcome to Hollywood. That was the moment of our afternoon session here. It sent Hollywood through to Dreamland and Fnatic crashing out of the competition at the group stages. If a picture says 1,000 words, those guys looked shocked at what's unravelled here at the FIFAe Club World Cup 2023. Drama in the house. Welcome back then for the evening session here. We've got Mike LaBelle and Richard Buckley alongside me. We have these two guests in the house. They're causing upsets left, right and centre. Mark and Negatron from Team Hollywood. Boys, you believed the dream was still alive. Most of us wrote you off yesterday, 1 point from 5 matches. You said in your pre-match interview there, we're going to win all of them. You won 4 today in such dramatic fashion. The first question I have for you, Mark, there was that pause, wasn't there? 90 minutes on the clock, 1-0 up over Fnatic. We'd preempted they needed 2. That was the permutations Rich was saying. Was it your pause or was it Fnatic's, and how did that unfold?
It was Fnatic's pause. Unfortunately, I had a 1-on-1 to win the whole game and then I missed it and we got a corner and they paused and my head was already gone, but luckily they paused and regained a little bit and then we scored from the corner.
Negatron, was your goal as well?
Yeah, it was.
What did you feel like when that went in?
Like, all the emotions came out, as you can see on the camera. I was just like going insane, he was going insane, like it was just crazy goal.
At 90 minutes then, did you think the dream had gone? It was dead in the water?
It was definitely over. Like the ball's in like a side, like oh by the whistle ref, I want to go home, and then I see, oh okay, we've got one more chance. I pass it the ball, he takes the one, it's a goal.
Yeah, when we had the pause cues, when you missed the opportunity, not to run it back, but I guess it's a positive story at the end of this anyway. Yeah. I said, that's it, that was the chance. Usually you don't get to run that back. You missed your opportunity, 90th minute. Write the script, didn't happen. How does it feel? I think this is the craziest moment that we've had in the E-Club. I was reviewing some moments, I was like, I think this is it. You had 1 point, I repeat for everybody at home, 1 point coming into today. Everything had to kind of work for you. You needed draws when the draws happened, you needed losses when that happened, and potentially we had the permutation god, he was refereeing everything there. We have enough time to go shopping for you in between.
Was that a question to him?
I don't
know.
What was that? I was distracted. I'm looking at him. How does it feel to have this moment? This will go on forever in FIFA history.
Look, personally, after the first day, I'm like, it's alright, so I'll focus on E-Nations and the World Cup, but then I messaged him saying, Nigeri, let's go, we can win this, you know? Like, after the first game, we got a bit of hope, and then we came up and showed it.
Well, Rich, just the standings are going to come up, and then we're going to ask your question as well. So Going into this, let's just kind of rewind slightly. It was going down to FIFAe, Hollywood and Fnatic. FIFAe and Fnatic were in the driving seat, and it was all down to Hollywood. Could they get 3 points? And then there's a bit of goal differentiation there that came into play, and it also came down to head in the end, Rich, and that's how, I guess, it ended. Hollywood 4th, 13 points, and Fnatic. Rich?
It was very simple in the end. Win by 2 goals and you're through. I mean, two very quick questions. First one, where on earth did Hollywood come from? What's the name? What's from you two? Where did that come from?
It was Pro Club's team initially, and then we decided, like, we had no team, we were both free agents, and we just decided to pick up the team randomly off the Pro Clubs.
And secondly, Mark, last year you said you did it 120th minute with Dire Wolves to qualify. Just like the late drama?
I just love it. I can't get grooved or Swiss. That's what happens. Like, it hasn't happened to me yet. Hopefully for E Nations and World Cup doesn't happen as well, but we've still got this tournament to focus on.
Yeah, let's hope not. Never been grouped. I love that. Well, we'll move on now to groups C and D. Hollywood, we're looking like that you're facing RB Leipzig, boys. That's not the best round of 16 matchup, is it?
Yeah, you don't want to reverse them. And as an Ultimate World Champion and a Wonder Kid, it's not a great combination, but like, it is what it is. We came fourth, so we deserve to verse the best teams. They're the favourites.
What's your head-to-head against them?
Friendlies, we don't want to talk about it. We lost a lot.
No comment.
That says it all then, doesn't it? I don't really know. Anyway, let's move on. So, Group D, Apogee Poland as well, leading the line at the moment. Who else have you been really impressed with in Group C and D?
Probably Waves. Waves are impressive. Fuma and Stingray, I think they're probably top 4 favourites. Them with Leipzig, I'm very impressed by them for sure.
I've been impressed with Goliath, actually. They put up some good results yesterday, like clutch results against Ajax as well. So if they can do it again. Is
the comeback on for Riders?
Oh, Phil, he's 2 goal. What do you expect?
Have you spoken to them? Surely they need to learn a thing or two from you guys.
No, they're locked in. We haven't had any conversations yet.
Are you guys going to be sticking around then to watch these matches?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
For sure, as should you guys at home. Let's have a look then at who we're going to see first up today. Group C, Goliath. The boys said they were pretty surprised with how they've been performing. The South African team taking on Ducks America. Riders, we mentioned them. They're sitting 4th in the table. They're taking on the big boys, RB Leipzig, and then SPQR and Ajax, that Brazilian derby there, Mike.
I mean, there's a lot to appreciate when you're looking at Group C. I agree with them as well when you talk about Goliath Gaming. Kind of went under the radar. You talk about South Africa. We've known these guys that are competing there. We're looking at Bianchi. You're looking at Caleb. But they're come together. They brought it yesterday, and I hope that they're kind of able to repeat that. It really disrupts the group.
I mean, Goliath also a little bit like you two fellas as well, coming from your own country, representing pretty much the whole region. Do you fancy them? Think they'll do it?
I do. They had a very good first day. I saw they could have got a result against Ducks America early on, but they did choke a little bit. But today, I think they're confident.
We've seen this happen a lot. I might be getting ahead of myself, as I usually do.
He always does.
I do it a lot. Because I just remember throughout the whole pandemic period, that's when we met, you could only play on the weekends. I think you grew since then as well. You look taller. You know, I just think you got taller. Maybe because he was sitting down playing before and now have stood up. But is it possible? Is it feasible? You're going to Hollywood, maybe a move in the future depending what's happening with FIFAe Esports?
Maybe. I wish it'll take a while, like a lot of money for that to happen, but it's definitely on the cards. I won't put it away right now.
Well, let's quickly then look at the Group D fixtures before the teams come out onto the stage. DC United, they're against Wave. Mark said he fancies them. Man City Esports, they're sitting in 4th in that drop zone, we're calling it. They've got a lot of work to do against Bromby, who are the standout performers from yesterday. Apogee Poland, they're 9 points next to their name. They take on Team Flash, who are sitting bottom of the pile with 3 points as it stands. Mike will be looking at DC. These guys are looking at Atlantai Wave and Goliath Gaming. Rich, who are you looking at?
All the teams. 6 points. 6 points from 6th to 1st. It's 2 wins. And I mean, we've seen from this morning, I think the draws, if you pick up draws, you will go out. Like, drawing is not good. You just get those 3 points, push on, try and really sort of make it easy. You don't want to be going to the last round either with permutations on the line.
Oh, not the permutations.
SPQR then and Flash, they're on the bottom of the table like you guys. Can they come back like we saw from you?
Of course, anything's possible on the second day. I wouldn't put it past them. SPQ are very good in friendlies as well, so I could see them back in top 4.
Negatron, money on for the whole thing? Please say yourself.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Anything can happen, but yeah, we'll see.
Not so confident where they are. Possibly facing RB Leipzig in round of 16. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck tomorrow. We cannot wait to see what drama the boys from Hollywood bring tomorrow. Right, A and B then. We are down to our final 8 from those 2 groups. Now it's time to see who continues here at the FIFAe Club World Cup to tomorrow, where the knockouts come into play. Let's welcome then our teams from Group C and D.
Crush it, fellas.
Madrid, they are getting cheered into the arena here by the local fans. Tuga, Tuga, that's the chant we're hearing, Mike.
Tuga's a likable guy, professional, full on in every single way. I'm sure he'll be prepared. I expect him to get through, no problem.
Yeah, we SBQR boys here, just sending a bit of a note to their fans. Good luck to those guys who are sitting bottom of their table. As we saw earlier, anything can happen. It's FIFA Esports. Shells and Ryan, they're also sitting in 4th. Rich is giving them a round of applause here. A big day for those 2.
Yeah, big day. They're in the hunt, and that's all they can be. They're in striking distance. You're not marooned at the bottom. That group, it's going to be very similar to what we saw in Group A. In my opinion, it's going to come down to the last game, just for the simple fact that no one's pulled away yet. You've sort of got a cluster of teams. A win in one game, a couple of results go your way, you can go from 6th to 3rd.
Absolutely, we see the Ducks boys there as well, big day for them. Well, we talk about the people in the danger zone. I feel like I should sing that one, I'm not going to. Spen, who are you with, which one?
I'm with the Riders, Atletico Madrid Riders to be precise. And listen, there's a lot of people looking at you guys coming into today. You're just in the qualification spot. Currently Tuga sitting in 4th spot. Tuga and Andoni, of course, this is the reigning champions. That's why everyone's got their eye on them. What have you got to do to make sure you have a slightly better day than yesterday?
Yeah, we saw our problems yesterday. We analyzed the game, our strengths, our weaknesses, and I think we are prepared for this day.
Clearly you did put some momentum together yesterday because you lost your first game, but then you drew 3, you finished with that one and only win. Obviously a few more wins today and a few more points will get you out of the group, but do you need to get higher than 4th in order to win this competition?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to get, I think, more points than yesterday. I think 6 probably won't be enough, but I think we are confident. Our practice games went really good, and I think we are going to get out of the groups.
Well, these guys have been there and done that. They know exactly what it takes to win a tournament. They just got to get out of the tournament ultimately. Come with me, we're going to talk to another team now who are in a very similar position. Different group, but sitting in the same position, 4th, just in a qualification spot. And that's the City boys right now. Of course, Shells and Ryan. I just talked to Tuga and Andoni about the fact that they're just in that position. You're in the exact same position right now. How can you improve on yesterday? You were kind of like laughing about your performance, particularly in your first game yesterday. What's the vibe right now?
I mean, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. But I mean, the vibe is we put all the effort in. We worked really hard for this event leading up to it. We put all the time in today. If we play anywhere to our ability, I'm sure we'll be fine in the group, but just hopefully a better performance from yesterday.
things can change really quickly, Ryan, can't they? Because you're playing Bromby up next. They're a couple of points ahead of you. But if you beat them, you'll go ahead of them. And you are two of the probably most experienced E-Club World Cup teams in history, I'd say, Bromby and City. Does that make this game a bit more important?
Every game is important, obviously. I know that's like an easy answer, but like as you said, we saw earlier, Hollywood came from nothing on day one, managed to get qualification on day two. So obviously, day one means something, but day two, you have to put in the performances to make it through.
Talk to the coach Eveni as well. So you're in fourth right now, but what success looked like for City? We've seen City win the treble in traditional football, trying to make it the quadruple here. So I'd call it anyway. What do you need to do to be successful? Is it just getting out of the group?
Yeah, I think like wins in this format is like essential, to be honest with you, because 3 points, I think most games end up as a draw. So if you get 3 points, you're laughing really. So hopefully a lot better start today, get 2 wins and we should be good.
A couple of wins could be enough for City. We've seen it before, haven't we? Draws can feel all right in the moment, but actually cost you. You've got to get those wins, even if it's at the cost of a couple of losses. Wins get you out the group, and let's see if they do that. Riders, City, lots of other teams to get started. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Yeah, a couple of wins, I'm not sure about that. I think they maybe need a few more than that. Man City 5 points, Riders on 6 at the moment, obviously a lot more than we saw from Hollywood. We've got 2 extra guests joined us on the sofa as well, over here. World champion and Brandon Smith.
Not me, I'm not the world champion.
But yeah, I always love hearing the interviews before they get going. Both teams actually really confident there, Aggie.
Yeah, I mean, and then they have all right to be so. Mixed day for Man City and for Riders, but it's 2 such experienced teams and 4 experienced players and coaches as well. So I mean, they know what this is about. They know that today is the day they're going to perform and get past the groups.
Crucial first game for both of them, Bromby and then Riders.
Absolutely, I think Spencer was right with what he said in terms of they are the most capped teams, aren't they, with this tournament. Bromby have won 2 E-Club World Cups. Yes, it was many moons ago, but then for Man City, they always seem to get here. We just need to see the extra step in that performance. Let's
just then go to our first feature game in Group C. Let's have a look then where we're going. Goliath against Ducks. Negatron said he fancied Goliath. He was really impressed with how they got on yesterday, Mike.
I'm going to throw this out here as well. If it stays similar to yesterday, Goliath will be scoring the first goal and they're going to be up 1-0, and we'll see if we keep that trend or if we're changing energy today. But that has been part of their storytelling, their theme. A couple of those games they didn't see out. They were able to get a draw out of it, but they weren't able to convert or have the game management at the end. But I've been super impressed with Goliath Gaming and the fact that they're fearless.
I think Goliath Gaming as well, like, they're the only spot in Africa. There's only one spot from Africa that's come from them, and they're here every year. They're grinding away. They're one of the few South African teams that are heavily invested in FIFA esports, and it's always good to see them back on the world stage.
And they're not only representing Goliath, they're representing their entire region, and it means a lot to them. We've seen them speak about we want to create more attention on our region. We want to show the world that we can compete, and that's what they're about to do right now.
Okay, well, that was Ducks, though. They've got a throw-in. Oh no, now it's back with Goliath. Always a cagey affair as we start the opening 10-15 minutes of this game. Well, we'll leave that there then. Let's feature one of the games in Group D, Man City, Bromby. This is our featured matchup for our first round of Future 2. Round 6, remember.
And to touch on what Brandon was saying, if you're a fan, oh, what a knockdown, what a finish, what a goal. Bromby on the board. I was going to say, I don't think it's enough that City gets out of the group. I need a big run. They've been on that cusp. We talk about them a lot. We know Shells, we know Ryan Pessoa, but we're not seeing them in semifinals. We're not seeing them in finals. We need to have that extra push. Otherwise, I think you have to start to revisit. Maybe there's a better partnership.
Ooh, who would you switch out?
I just think for both of them, if you're not able to put together those types of runs, that's the expectation. You're not teaming up if you're at that level and that level of credibility and experience to just get to the tournament. You want to be winning events.
Yeah, it's a big statement there, but yeah, one that might prove to be true. We actually just saw what happened, didn't we, with Fnatic in that camp. If you don't get the results, Mike, Richard, you're out of the organisation. Do you want to tell everyone the news?
Yeah, obviously you saw Diogo quote tweeting Texas tweet saying free agent for next season. So quick moves in that regard. Obviously disappointing as it always would be to not go ahead and into the knockouts with such an organisation as Fnatic are, and also when you are partnering alongside Tex, you expect wins and championships, and It's just not really ever been able to get over the final hurdle with Team Fnatic.
I also question if maybe there was a release portion of his contract based on results at this event, because I've never seen a release that happened 30 minutes after the game.
It's a bit interesting now.
We've both been in esports a long time. I've never seen something like that happen so quickly. And it's not as if these guys don't like each other, they haven't been working together, any of those types of scenarios. So I was just wondering if there was a contractual obligation or some sort of release clause based on results on this event.
Quite possibly. Well, we're sticking here then. Riders, RB Leipzig. This is a massive game as well. Leipzig very much in control of Group C. Man City and Brøndby though, there's a lot of noise in that game.
Yeah, I don't know if you hear it as well, the Saudi fans, big Man City fans it would seem as well. They're the team that are getting all the love at this current moment. It was an equaliser for Man City, corner whipped into the box, big header, the big man at the back post, Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, sold 6'8" of him.
With a breakthrough then in this derby too.
Oh, lovely little scoop turn there, near post finish. And Ajax taking the lead against SPQR. SPQR really needs to show us something. Because I have an expectation. I'm so used to seeing Brazilians do well. I know it's a Brazilian affair, but still. Get some points on the board, make this interesting, shake the room a little bit, win some fans, we can get some energy. I need some electricity. I want to hear a lot of vamos.
We want to see some dancing. We had that, didn't we, from the boys last time?
Maybe some sunglasses, it's summertime. Give me a seasonal special.
I'm saying one thing, a World Cup isn't a World Cup without Crepaldi. Where is he? Crepaldi, tweet us, let us know you're watching. I'm sure he will be watching this Brazilian derby from the comfort zone home somewhere. Well, let's jump into... It's noisy. I don't think they're completely behind this game. RPG Poland team Flash has top taking on bottom there.
Seems like they love Man City and they love Atletico Madrid.
I need a backstory here. All the Saudi fans have turned into Tuga fans, or they were Tuga fans. I just don't know the origin of that fandom. We got to send somebody in there. Richard, you can blend in your referee jersey. I think you should go over there and check it out.
They do like Riders and RB Leipzig. This is a massive game though. Can hang out and see what they were screaming about. That's what they were screaming about. Riders taking control of this game.
It's 1-0 yesterday. RB Leipzig beats the Riders in maybe the longest game of FIFA esports I've ever seen. And today it's a pretty quick turnaround. Riders needed points and they're delivering, Brandon.
Well, RB Leipzig yesterday, 13 points out of 15. It's not a bad showing, is it? Some other games that are currently underway. No more updates from them. DC United 0, Atlanto Wave 0, and Apogee Poland 0, Team Flash 0 so far.
I was speaking before we got live with this evening session to Goliath Gaming out there in the booth. We were talking about points and what we're expected. He says the one thing that we need in this group is RB Leipzig to keep beating everyone. So they're away. We don't have to worry about them. If they start losing points to other teams, then it starts to become, okay, well, they're getting back in the mix now. And after round 8 or 9, if they're already through, you might be able to nick a point off them. If they need to win to qualify, it's a scary fact.
Well, you've got world champions against world champions in this one. World champions in 2v2, and then, like the boys from Australia said, you've got a world champion and a wonder kid. Scary prospect that, isn't it, Aggie?
Yeah, definitely, and we also saw it yesterday as we've been speaking about them getting 13 points in the group of death and just kind of smashing all the opponents. It's definitely main favorites right now, and Hollywood will be looking at this group and really follow it to see if RB Leipzig will continue with this, and that's exactly what I believe we just saw here, and they are back in the match.
They said they were going to be sitting by watching. Have they brought a coach to them, Hollywood, or are they texting someone behind the scenes?
I think they're actually having analysts behind the scenes, and they're also doing their own analyzing, obviously. And I mean, they will already know what Umut and Anders is capable of. It's two of the most well-known guys in the community, so they know what is expected them potentially, because obviously they haven't won the group yet, but it's definitely looking like they're going to do.
As well, Aggie, I said, what's your head-to-head record against them? They said, in friendlies you don't want to know. Do you sense that as a bit of a sign of weakness? Obviously they haven't got the best results in friendlies. Is that playing on their mind a bit, or would it it if it was you?
Well, I never really thought too much about friendlies when I was practicing. I mean, it's a different game. That extra nerve, that intensity isn't there when you're playing. You tend to be a bit more loose. So personally, I never thought about it, and don't think a lot of the players does.
I'm going to quote Ryan Pessoa, friendlies don't matter. That's what he says every time. I mean, Mike, you've played in many a games. How much are you reading into it?
Not at all. I just don't think you can replicate this environment at home, and then even more so, it's an online match often for a friendly that doesn't even matter. It doesn't have anything in it. You don't have that adrenaline, kind of as August was saying. The hair on my arm's not standing up. I'm not feeling something extra. There's no additional pressure. So I don't read into it at all.
Well, let's read into this game then, shall we? Goliath, Ducks. Nothing broken as it stands. Is the attack on for Ducks? No.
Yeah, they'll be hoping for a better group than they did last year in Copenhagen. Zizinho brought a new teammate on board this year with Neat, forming this Ducks America side. They kicked off day one with an important win, in fact, as we jump across to this game. Still 0-0, Apogee Poland against Team Flash.
Yes, obviously the leaders, isn't it? Apogee Poland and Team Flash bottom of the pile. So it's quite good from Team Flash to be able to just kind of hold us at the moment, Mike.
Team Flash showed a lot of moments of the stuff that we like. Some of the extracurriculars, you'd have a fantastic goal, but the consistency wasn't there. Some of the structure wasn't there. Some of the game management wasn't there. And that could come down to experience. I know we keep stressing it, but this is a big arena. Bright lights, a lot of voices, multiple commentary pairs everywhere. There's so much happening all at once. Easy to be distracted or to let the moment get to you.
You're not really allowed on the stage before the tournament starts. I managed to sneak on there in the referee's outfit. And I was stood there by the Team Flash booth, and Renzo was actually in there just going, guys, like, you showed real good quality yesterday. Like, this is good for you. I'm like, Renzo, are you working double duty? Like, what's happening?
He's trying to get a little more hiring at 6'10".
I think he was just sort of stressing what we're saying here. They are a fantastic side, but it's just not been over 90 minutes. They've showed it in glimpses. And again, sort of a glimpse that's coming through, but that quality at the top of the table will punish you.
Classic curse to the commentator as we have the opening goal going the other direction.
Yeah, Apogee Poland going ahead then.
And the Polish gents have been super impressive. We talked about different teams here. I don't think anybody came in with a bunch of backstory. We know Furman, we understand some of the accomplishments, but they didn't get that headliner type of notification. We didn't shout about them, we didn't put them on a pedestal, and they've kind of just consistently done the business thus far.
I actually had an interesting talk with the national team coach from Poland, Jarek Ratio, when I was in Zurich for FIFAe game. And he said that Furman and Zalewski, we should definitely keep an eye out on them. Obviously, Furman went to the final at the E-Nations Cup last year, but Zalewski is an upcoming player who's definitely showing his worth. So, I mean, we should definitely not sleep on them either.
And Mike enjoyed this one. DC United going one up, Mike.
Yeah, I talked to them beforehand. They were in good spirits. Seemed like they had good energy. They weren't going to change a lot of things dramatically from yesterday. Very defensive approach to the game, kind of passive in terms of taking in some of the pressure, but they're looking for those deep counters, and they're trying to be clinical. We're talking about Agit Power and King CJ from DC United.
Yeah, absolutely. And the boys as well from Australia, they said don't sit on Wave. Wave, Stingray and Fuma are such a great pairing. They walk around this place with such confidence as well, like they expect to get what they did last year, Rich, kind of to the final stage of this competition, but they didn't get together, obviously.
Yeah, Stingray, obviously, a great performance last year with Saf. In this group, they are the favourite to go through. They are the favourite to win this group. I don't think that's unfair to any of the other teams in it. However, just because you're favourite on paper doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Fnatic were probably favourite for a few people to not only win the group, but go far in the tournament. And last time we're going to see them, Brandon.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that we have to talk about off the back of that is, look, they've had 2v2 experience at Landside Wave, but in their league format, they were lucky in the E-League One.
So it's like 1v1, 1v1, 2v2. Like it's not
and a lot of
just
time together.
2v2.
A lot of time together. You know, playing FIFA, a really good team. And look, we have to keep an eye on them. 9 points from 15 yesterday is not bad going at all.
Yeah, top. Well, we can say they topped the group, didn't they, with Apogee Poland? They were both on 9 in the end. It was Bromby who came a little bit lower down in third with 8 points to end that day. Right, we're sticking with riders then. RB Leipzig is getting a bit tense here. 1 point each. You were chatting to him a bit earlier, Mike. Did he have much to say?
Not too much. Right now I'm telling you, I'm actually dialed on the DC game. I got to see what's happening here. I'm trying to start out the right way today.
Well, should we get the DC game on the stream then, so we can see a little bit of what's happening there?
This is a great point for RB Leipzig, a terrible point for Riders. You're 1-0 up, you're in a good position, you get a win against top of the table, it's maybe 3 points you didn't expect to get coming into today. It's just, we said it earlier, and I'll say it again, draws don't really help you if you're 4th or 5th at this point. If you're top of the table, 13 to 14 points, yeah, fine. It probably guarantees you.
To your point there, it just depends what you're looking for as well. I don't think this draw is so bad for Riders. You get some confidence, you're building it, and they might nick something late. We don't know. They're known to see those games out to a certain degree.
Yeah, they were winning.
But either way, I still see them getting out of the group, which is the most important thing here.
Well, let's pause the thought in that Goliath Gaming then. They get a goal in their encounter with Ducks America.
Oh, wow.
This is the story that people didn't write. No one had Goliath Gaming in. That means 2 of those big players, big teams, big clubs, go out.
Looking around going, where's the cheering and shouting? Where is it going to? I know. Let's go over to... Sorry, Mike, we're going to jump away from DC. We're going to go into our featured matchup here. Riders Leipzig.
What's worse than a draw, Richard?
0. A loss. You know about a loss.
81st minute, RB Leipzig, and they've looked, it's got to be said, they've looked the most dominant team, I think, this far, or at least most feared.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that...
Basel did such a good job as well. They finished on top in that group. If you're talking about going into everything with Raptors, they just did it a little quieter.
Let's have a look if we can go and jump over to Man City when they just stop their pause. We can see what's happening in that game.
City on the ball, extra pass across as well, indeed, 2-1, huge for Pessoa, huge for Shells, and they need these types of results, especially considering how good Brøndby looked yesterday. City's bringing a different package.
It's a great win.
But it's not done yet. Don't get ahead of ourselves.
15 minutes.
A team that have just squeezed out a win there as Apogee Poland. 12 points on the board, that will be, they will go top of the group if DC United can hold out this result here. I think one thing we have to say about DC United, I'm sure Mike will love to hear this as well, they were the team that stopped complexity getting to this event. They could say they took that NA spot this time round. Looks like they'll be picking up a big 3 points here.
I'm not mad about it. It's a great start for the day. And again, another team that I don't think got a lot of recognition. People weren't hyping them up, especially considering some of the big names that we have. You have so many players from Europe where it's got to be said, most European players get a little more, if you start making events, you're getting a little more exposure. You're getting some more eyes. You're making Brandon's TikTok, and those TikToks are going viral. And people are seeing it and they're saying, these must be the guys. And Brandon's just not featuring the American players. I don't know why.
Tut, Brandon getting told off here anyway. Anyway, we're going to go back to, do you feature the South Africans, Goliath, in your TikToks?
Hollywood might get on now.
Oh, Hollywood, Mike. Goliath, how do you get on? What are they going to do?
Mike didn't. It's not sure thing.
Final stages then of Riders RB Leipzig. Riders need another goal. Rick said they need a big point here.
Yeah, they absolutely do. When you look at what they're delivering here, RB Leipzig, a third goal is detrimental to Riders. Off the post, rebound goes in. Anders is off his feet. Can we get he's won the crowd over. They were chanting Tuga at the start. They're now on board with RB Leipzig.
They just don't stop Leipzig. I mean, we saw some of the team today, Raptors just slowing a bit down after they secured their spot. But Leipzig just seemed to continue beating their opponents, and then in the group of death as well. I mean, we're definitely looking at the all-time favorites to win this competition right here.
It's brutal, isn't it, when you go up against them? They always find a way through, whatever the circumstances. Even if they go down, like we saw their Riders couldn't quite hold on to a point.
So we got to give so much credit to RB Leipzig, and I'm telling you, I'm talking to other competitors, even earlier on, the morning sessions, the afternoon sessions, they were saying, I don't want that matchup. I don't want to see RB Leipzig.
Well, Man City then, they went ahead a short while ago. They've been able to hold this lead. 87 minutes on the clock now. Brøndby, they were a big club to be reckoned with yesterday. 8 points on the board. Aggie was telling us about how good this club is, the quality they have in that side. Ryan Basura and Chelsea come out firing then today. 4 more minutes to hold on.
It will only be their second win as well, Man City, of the group stage so far, so such an important result for them. I say that.
You were saying?
And that's
You know what, I might as well resign.
That's been the Achilles heel of Manchester City. This partnership, this team, their game management, they don't see out matches. They've been there time and time again. We've talked about it. I'm just calling a spade, a heart a heart. August is agreeing with me. If there's one major critique, they got to see out the games.
We just
they're
saw
doing
that.
the business, but they're not handling the business at the end. It's a soft handshake.
We just saw that, didn't we? We just saw that earlier on in groups A and B. No one's learning. Right, Spen is down there with all the reaction for us from Goliath Gaming.
Guys, I'm here with the lads from Goliath, and listen, we talked yesterday about maybe people underestimating you guys a little bit, talk about the group of death. I think now, not only are you in a great position to get out of the group, you could really look up and see how high you can finish. I mean, you're 6 points off of top, but you're in second position. What's the aim?
Yeah, you know, I think it's to win every single game and to possibly win the group. Obviously, we want to qualify out of the group, but there's nothing wrong with winning everything. So for us, it's game by game. We're going to try and win everything, and I'm just so proud how we fought the past couple of days and the character we've shown. So yeah, hopefully it can continue into the next couple of games.
Representing South Africa and the whole continent of Africa really well. Do you think that the idea of you flying under the radar is now maybe stopped and people are going to take you a bit more seriously, which might mean harder games?
Yeah, most definitely, but we love the challenge, I would say. So bring on the next game. We're playing the world champions next. We managed to get a draw, and hopefully we can do one better today.
That's right. Good luck, guys. They're up against Riders next. Right, I'm going to head up here now because I want to talk to the lads from Bromby, because it was absolutely kicking off. They just played Man City, and I tell you, I saw Shell score. He stood up, give it the big one towards Bromby. He's getting right. I mean, they're only there, so City are there, Bromby are here. He was really animated in his look over to the Bromby bench, but then Bromby, I think, got a late equaliser, and they were giving it back. So we've got to have a quick chat with these boys. Bromby, there's some serious energy going back and forth between you and Man City. Talk to me about it.
Well, it was a very important game. First of all, they're right below us in the table, so it was a very important win. And yeah, they shouted some things and we shouted some things. It's a part of the game, you know. No bad vibes at all, you know.
Yeah, they're below you in the table. They're below you literally as well, just there. And as I mentioned to City earlier when I spoke to them, if they'd beat Bromby there, they would have sort of jumped over them in the table. But you've stopped them from doing that. It was a 2-2 draw. It was a late goal. Talk me through it.
Yeah, it was very important. A very close game. As I said yesterday, they're very good. But yeah, very important point, and hopefully we win the next one.
Okay. That was the most, I would say, ferocity between two teams we've seen so far. But we've also seen Anders getting the Saudi crowd really going in that last game against Riders. It's all kicking off. The energy's good. I'm loving it.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, the energy is exactly where we want it. It is high, and it is keeping us very much awake and excited to see how these final 4 matches go. I want these guys to continue making some noise. Right, back to this story then. We mentioned, if you did join us at the top of the show, it's a bit of a story about Fnatic. So Tex and Diogo, teammates, got knocked out in dramatic fashion, and this is what Tex just tweeted after that. Really disappointing final tournament, but it's one of them. It's been a good ride for Diogo Mendes. It wasn't meant to be, but that's life. Thanks for everything these past couple of years. I love you and your family and wish the best for you all. That obviously relates to this from Diogo Mendes here. I can't say enough about how much I've enjoyed playing 2v2 with him, meaning Tex. Sadly, the last dance turned out to be our worst tournament ever, but I want to thank him for all he's done for me and Fnatic for giving me the opportunity. Not sure what's next, but I'm a free agent next season. So we were discussing it here. It's massive news, the fact that an organisation has let a player go so suddenly after finishing a tournament, and also not just finishing a tournament, but getting knocked out in such dramatic fashion that it's caused us all here to speak about it quite extensively on the show. We don't know. Mike mentioned it could have been like a contractual agreement. Don't make it through to the knockouts and you're out of it.
But I think that's it. I think it has to be something like that.
It has to be, Mike. Yeah.
They don't make those types of emotional moves, especially think how large of an organization Fnatic is. It would be odd to me if there wasn't something written in the script that, hey, whenever this is done, whenever your tournament is completed, this message is already going out. I think they knew. I think both competitors knew. It sounded like a planned divorce.
Aggie, no one's, in your opinion, no one from Fnatic would have called Diogo after that. It's got to be what Mike said. They knew the little things they had to tick off in the season to continue their path with Fnatic next year. Didn't do that, so he's just expressing what he already knew.
Yeah, I think it's something that has been coming for a while. It's something that has been in the plans, and this was their last dance, so to speak. And as they're treating both of them, it didn't go out as they expected or hoped. And then, yeah, they're free to say kind of an official goodbye to each other.
Well, I've loved watching Tex and Diogo. They've become such great friends, a great partnership to watch. They always cause a little bit of drama. They like to stir the pot a little bit. You never know what you're going to get from Tex, and we have to wait and see if he gets a new teammate next year, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been in many positions as a football fan, supporting Barnsley FC. We get relegated. 20 minutes later, tweet comes out, manager's sacked. We don't have a manager in this case. The person that unfortunately goes is the player. So disappointing that they've moved in that way. Obviously, if heart goes out to Diogo, I'm sure he'll land on his feet, and I'm sure an opportunity will come his way very quickly indeed. It's a shame that they've not made it far because they're a fan favourite, and I think people, a match-up maybe between RB Leipzig and Fnatic in a quarter-final and a semi-final would have been great for us.
Yeah, I mean, most professional sports have performance-related contracts, and that's basically what this is, like.
And think how close they were if you really date back, beginning of the season. We had the EA Sports Cup. They made it to the finals, and you could argue they would have won that final if they didn't get an early red card, if you want to date back to that game. It was kind of a wild circumstance, and would that have shifted the year?
Well, we're hearing then, as we move on, because that's a lot of chat about those two players. It's unfortunate, but that is professional sports, of course. So we've had one round already, round 6. There's a pause behind us. You may have noticed we're talking a lot. An infringement has possibly happened in the opening round of fixture, so they're just having a little look into that. Maybe the referee needs to go down and get confirmation of that. Richard, maybe you can go and see what's happening.
I'm happy to go down.
Well, we can look at the tables. Maybe you can get off the seat and have a little looky-looky. Is he allowed? Anyway, we're going to send him off to see if he knows what to do. Let's have a look at the tables. Right, so after 6 rounds, RB Leipzig 16 points, Goliath 10. They're having a great tournament. Ajax Brazil 8, Ducks America 7, Riders 6, and SPQR on 3 points there. D then Apogee Poland. Yep, nicely done. Continuing at the top. They've actually pulled away, haven't they, from Atlanta Wave now, who got that first round loss there, Mike, which you didn't expect. Bromby, DC United, it's all changed, isn't it, in Group D? Man City and then Flash still at the bottom of the table. And
And I actually think City's the biggest loser out of the group. And that might sound maybe a little bit against the grain just because they didn't even lose their opener, but the fact that they were ahead, they've been in that position, they could have set the tempo for the day, controlling the day. You build on that momentum, and both those guys seem a little bit affected when they have a bad beat or a bad loss or something of misfortune.
Yeah, exactly. What happens then to Wave? What happens to those boys after that first round defeat?
I don't know if it's that big of a deal for them. I feel like they go out there, they play FIFA, they don't talk to each other. If you watch them play, they both have their headphones on, they're not having a discussion. We realized that Puma speaks perfect English, didn't know that, but they don't, it's an odd 2v2. You watch these guys, you're hearing reactions, you're hearing chatter back and forth throughout the game. That's not one of those teams.
So I went down.
Okay.
I had a look around.
That was quick, by the way.
I don't know if you can get the camera up to a stage, just around the Bromby booth. There's a lot of movement. And there's a lot of people standing around and lingering. I'm hearing that potentially there could be something with the Man City Bromby matchup. Maybe some violation in squad. We'll have to wait and see. However, on the stage, that's where a lot of it is sort of kicking off at the moment. So we'll get official confirmation for you indeed, but just keeping you up to date with everything that's happening and try to paint the pitch for you at home where you can't see everything that we can see from our stage.
At this stage, though, it's still speculation. Just to recap what happened in that matchup, Bromby, they got that last-minute goal to take it 2-2 over Man City. We were all saying they just need to see out these matches to the boys in blue. They couldn't do that then in their first round. So that's what this bit of a delay is relating to at the moment. So just on pictures there of the two guys from Bromby. Aggie, what are you making of this? Maybe a bit of an infringement in this match? Do you see anything untoward?
I think there was a lot of screaming and shouting, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. It's emotions, right? I mean, we've all been through it, and I hope it's nothing serious. besides that, yeah, talking about Man City, because I totally agree with you, Mike. Like, they dropped 4 points now in the last second. You would expect two such experienced players to have like a plan to seal these games out. It's not only those two, it's also the coach. You have to be like, happens once, full on me, happens twice, full on like the entire team. I mean, they can't happen again.
I'm not a negative Nancy. It's just been a reoccurring conversation. I'm not. I'm watching FIFA. I'm observing, and then I'm commenting on what I'm seeing. It's not even a subjective view for me. This happens far too often. Maybe that is subjective, but it happens. It happens regularly with these two.
Richard?
I feel like I'm digging myself a grave. I'm digging a real hole. Can we get a zoom in of that reaction? He's like, I do not want to make anybody mad. I'm not saying anything.
I've got a commentator, Brian, maybe again. So you know.
He's got a TikTok lined up, and it will go away if he gives an opinion.
I need them to get through. Need to get through.
Okay, well, we're waiting to see, aren't we, what happens there. Maybe we can have a look at, see who's playing who next as well. I can tell you who's got who next in round 7. So let's have a quick look then. Group D, next up, Wave take on Apogee Poland. DC United take on Man City Esports. Bromby take on Team Flash, still looking to get off the bottom of that table. And then in Group C as well, hoping I can get the exciting fixtures for you. It doesn't look likely at the moment. I'm not being able to tell you where we're going, but it looks like it's actually come down to Goliath Gaming now, who are having a bit of a discussion.
So your fixtures for that round: Goliath Gaming against Atletico Riders, RB Leipzig against Ajax, and SPQR against Ducks America. Those are your 3 matches in that round. But as they were saying yesterday, Rachel, Goliath, they've got a point off Tuga and Andoni. They might be able to go the extra step further and get the win this time.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Goliath, then we'll know exactly what happens. So Goliath, I'll quickly run through who they're going up against. Goliath are going up against Riders / Atletico Madrid. They are, of course, our defending champion. While waiting for this, shall we get to know a bit more about those two, Tuga and Andoni? Well, here it is.
Last year it was like a perfect year because we were the FIFAe Club World Cup champions. We worked a lot for that moment.
Thanks to Tuga and Espi as coach because he had a plan.
We were thinking game by game, step by step. We knew that we were one of the best teams in the world, and the confidence from there was always higher and higher. I think like we were the best team with the best points of every group stage. We were perfect, but we needed to keep doing things well. We managed to get to the finals, and it was only on that moment that we think about it being champions, but we managed to keep concentrating on the game, focused, and the gameplay was on point, and we become the FIFAe Club World Cup champions. But right now, we think that is history, that is past, and right now we are focusing on these tournaments.
It's the same mentality. The prize pool not change anything. We will win, and the only thing is the trophy.
People start realizing and start looking to us in a different way, with more respect, seeing us, the team they have to beat, playing us because they know that we are the world champions and we are coming for the back-to-back. We are prepared, we are even better than last year, so beating us, it will be difficult.
Yeah, it could be difficult. We were chatting, weren't we, yesterday about, we think the level of all the clubs has just taken another step up as well. Mike, it's going to be a really tough ask, isn't it, for those two to defend that title, but I kind of think if anyone can do it, is those guys. They're so mature, they've been around for so long, and they work so well together, and let me add, they're two super nice guys as well.
And I mean no disrespect to Andoni, but I just have so much belief in Tuga winning and qualifying and getting the job done. I feel like I could play with him, and he's so good at seeing out games that we would make it happen. He would have to take me on, all sorts of problems, and we would still get some results. We're not going to win this, but I'm just saying we'd get some positive results. I got Tuga. My confidence is going up. Tuga. I feel insured. Like if he was a bank, I would want to invest in Tuga.
Tuga has that though, doesn't he, Aggie? He has that, the fact that he's come from this army background, that he like stamps his authority. He knows discipline, doesn't he? He's a very disciplined kind of guy.
one of the most disciplined, if not the most disciplined. And I remember I hated playing against him when we were competing. I always knew what awaited me. Such a long and tiring battle playing against him. And it's the same feeling the other teams will feel when they're playing against him and Andoni. So what Mike's saying is a very, very accurate kind of describing Tuga. Not sure he could carry you as well, but I mean...
We would go somewhere. We might not make it that far. We'll go somewhere. I got the Tuga carry.
Division 3.
We've got a couple of stats then on the screen for riders. Atletico Madrid, world ranked number 1, of course, as they are defending champions. Great passing accuracy there. Average expected goals, 1.1. Good stats all around, as we'd expect from those boys there. And I was just walking through the players area earlier today as well, and Tuga can also have a bit of a laugh. He was playing a bit of ping pong there. Rich got a bit of skills as well on the table tennis table.
Yeah, he might have. They're still not doing the business here though. Like they might not even got through at this rate. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but
no, they're getting through. They're getting through.
They just picked up another defeat.
They're getting through. We're sharing this, guys. They're getting through. I'm getting a second stamp.
They're getting through.
They're getting through.
We're all saying if we keep saying it, it might manifest it, make it happen.
Yep.
Right, matches are starting. Let's get
the grass
into...
is green, the sky is blue. Tuga gets you out of the group stage.
Let's
We're
get
good.
matches. Right, let's go. Where are we going first? Goliath Riders. We've been speaking about it. Let's see it. Here it is.
Just on that point, I generally can't remember a time when Tuga doesn't make it through.
There you go.
Swiss round group stages. And I think we spoke about this yesterday quite a bit. He's in that pool of players that will guarantee you World Cup finals, you know, in a 2v2 element now and a 1v1 as well. He's up there with the likes of Nicholas, Tex, the list goes on, of those players individually that will get you to those big outings, those big days out. We're back on the way for all of our games. Goliath gaming against Riders Atletico. This one was a draw yesterday. Let's see how it will go this time round.
Yeah, 1-1 was the match result yesterday. As Brandon said, it was a draw. So this is Wave. They would like to bounce back from that first round loss against top of the table Apogee Poland here. As Aggie said, the Polish boys are ones to watch.
Oh, I think we got something here.
Nearly the opener as well for Poland. I just think somehow they've slid under the radar, and they have a lot of draws, but those aren't losses. They're a very difficult team to do the business against.
Well, Man City, they gave away that 3 points, didn't they, in their first game? Well, they've got a first goal. Does that mean anything yet? No, probably not for those two.
Not yet. However, it just gives you confidence. Even when you're in games, they're scoring goals. If they can just tighten up a few clean sheets here and there, those 1 points will start going to 3. And draws don't really help you at this point. We've got 4 rounds left, including this one, 3 after this. You have to start winning matches, especially when everyone else around you is picking up results.
Yeah, especially such as these guys that have just gone 1 goal to the goods. We'll get the goal as soon as we can. It's from the group of death, we've called it. Goliath gaming against Atletico Riders. There's been a goal in this game. Which way has it gone? It has gone the way of Goliath Gaming, looking to get the win this time on the current 2v2 world champions. This is the build-up for the goal. You can see, finds the feet of that shapeshifter Pele, little reverse elastico. Thank you very much, Goliath Gaming, leading by a goal to 0. This is not looking good for Atletico Riders right now.
Not worried, but also that wasn't good defending. It was kind of
very un-Tuga-esque defending.
Yeah, it wasn't very characteristic of these two. That was quick passing, but there really wasn't any skills. They didn't make them earn it. You didn't have some of that extra sauce that you need around the edge of the box.
I think the one thing that they're struggling with is single leg matches, especially when they're going down by a goal first. The way that Tuga likes to play his FIFA, score first and then control the game, dominate possession in this single leg format, that they're struggling when they go 1 goal behind.
If Ducks America pick up a win, they'll be 4 points clear of Riders in 5th. You've not got a lot of points left to play for, as Atlantide Wave got a 1 goal to the good against league leaders Apogee Poland. It's not looking great.
That's a good start from those two, though. for Atlanta. Who wasn't looking great for it?
Riders and Athletic.
Oh, we're still going.
That's the story. That's the current champions going out.
No, but you were talking about Wave anyway. It's not looking good. I was like, who's not looking good?
Wave will go through. Both of them sides will go through.
You confused me for a moment there. Akin, take us away from that conversation.
He's starting to sound like me, so I'm happy about it.
Oh,
Everyone's going through. We have a lot of belief. Over here, we got hope.
Yeah, meanwhile, we actually have another goal, and it is for the Danes, Brøndby. And we haven't spoken a lot about Team Flag, but their time is slowly running out if they aren't going to change something up. There's been a lot of potential, as you said, Mike, but it's just not really been enough.
Brøndby? Yeah, they'll go through.
Yeah, you said that as well.
They're picked in my group. I put it on paper yesterday.
Well, let's go back to Goliath then. Feature matchup taking on the defending champions, Riders.
The bigger question, who goes out, DC United or Man City?
Well, it's a 1 point in at the moment, isn't it? DC leading Man City in the table by 1 point. At the moment, Man City leading DC by a goal.
I know that couch will be split.
Mike didn't give us an answer on that. So
We're going to have one of those Tex and Diogo divorces over here on this couch if you're going to ask us about DC and Manchester City. A lot of love for Ryan Pessoa, though. Just want to throw that out there. A lot of love. But it's the only North American hope that we got, the only dream that's on display. The only American in the competition with King CJ.
Well, let's go then to where we had another goal in the Apogee Poland game, and it came from the Polish team. Levelled it up against Wave.
And speaking of another goal that's gone in another matchup, Manchester City leading 2 goals to 0 against DC United.
It's that 5th v 4th battle at the moment. Team Flash, as it stands, you could probably start to write them out of the equation. And you're sort of playing for that 4th spot with Brøndby, Apogee Poland and Atlantide pulling away at the top of the table. Yes, one of those 3 sides could get brought back into it. It could be a scrap, but 6 points City, 7 points DC United. It's a real tough ask, as
that was that goal we were talking about.
That was the second goal, yeah, from Manchester City.
Yeah, so controlling at the moment, but we do know what these boys do, and we saw
conceded last minute pretty much every game. So
what they did earlier, didn't they? Yeah, exactly, against that team from Brøndby. Let's see if Ryan and Chels can just keep it as it is for half time. Tick down there. Last attack for Ryan and Chels. They just kick it out right. Stays 2-0.
Got a couple more Americans in the building though today at DC United. I saw Chris. I saw Lamps here. A little bit more team spirit, a little bit more support.
I don't know. The irony is neither of them are coaching. They're not behind them. They're not on the back door window doing some cleaning. Like, they're not helping them out. As you see, Riders, a bit of a pop-off and in-house again. Look at this. They got 2 good chants. I want some of these chants.
Well, the fans are loving it still here. Let's see what's going down in the Ajax game then. Ajax are taking on the current table toppers. And it was Ajax then who managed to get a goal past Leipzig. Great start for the Brazilians there.
They're a team we haven't spoken too much about in terms of the question mark over them, because they didn't have the best of days yesterday. 5 points from 15 for a side that, you've got to remember, outside of this tournament, to look at the national side of things, E-Nations champions. Yes, Resende was more of a coach last year, but PHN was a main character in that. They need this result. They're desperate for it.
Yeah, those two have got so much added already to their CV. This would be great, wouldn't it, to add this together for the Brazilians. Can they make it too? Ooh.
Fantastic ball over the top, just whipped in behind. Ajax, it's a big opportunity to go 2-0 up, and especially in a one-legged game of FIFA, a 2-goal swing is pretty much
Rick, that's when you saw Anders getting frustrated as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think RB Leipzig, maybe just, I might just say to him, look, we're pretty much through. Just don't lose your head here. Just keep it calm. We're going into the knockouts.
He doesn't really know how not to win, though. He's still so young. His first proper year of competitive FIFA. He wants to win every game.
I think it's his edge. that he is a little bit crazy. You get all sorts of different reactions, emotions, interception, bad tackle, concede a goal, score a goal. I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm here for all that. And I'm going to put this out here. I'm manifesting early. I'd love to see an RB Leipzig versus the Raptor matchup, all right? I think the Saudi fans and then the attention that Anders loves, some of that desire, some of that back and forth, they're having it all in-house.
DC United, can they break through the City defence? No. Should we have a look what's happening in Ducks America? SPQR, we haven't seen much of them.
I don't know what happens if Athletic Riders play against Raptors, because it's going to be a Tuga Saudi chant going back and forth.
I called that just as SPQR had broken the deadlock there with Ducks. Sensed something was coming there. About 60 minutes had gone, nothing had happened. Let's see how they got the first goal. Oh, we're seeing it as it. We're going to have a replay of this goal then.
Here we get to see it. 60 minutes on the clock. Don't tell me it's a terrible mistake. Please don't. Pass around the back. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ducks. What are we playing at?
Don't play with your food. That's what they teach you when you're young, very young.
They do, indeed. Thanks for telling everyone that. Right, SPQR then. Great for them. They're bottom of the table. They can get 3 points against the boys from Ducks America. Man City then. Let's go over to that game because your boys, Mike, are going to come back.
We're trying to make it interesting right now. We already talked about how City doesn't always close out games. You see the cut back across, finesse shot, 60 minutes, plenty of time for DC United. Expect some tactical adjustments, and you're not seeing Vinicius Jr. use that much, but look at the confidence. They're locked in there. A little head nod. Smashing water. We're hydrated.
It's cost us 2-2.
Okay, I said 2-1, but I meant 2-2.
Yeah, I think they scored back to back.
It was quick.
Yeah, we saw the replay, and during the replay, they got the second goal. It was. I don't want to say these words, but it's been pretty much classic Man City throughout this tournament so far. Like,
it sounds like you're describing Mike
goals.
is right. That's all I'm hearing over on the couch.
It definitely wasn't.
Let's see the second goal, Mike, which we just missed then when we were talking about the first.
Big through ball, a lot of space to work with. Who else? Ronaldo. Little goalkeeper movement. Comes back to him. Post, rebound, touch it home.
So I brought a drum into the arena, by the way.
I love this. I hope we can get more Saudi fans in here. I can't wait for even E Nations. I know it's ahead of ourselves, but I think it's going to be packed.
Is this 2 for SPQR here?
He is dancing. Inside the box, top corner, across the body, no problem. Doubles the lead, and Ducks is in a bit of a position. A conundrum, if you
That room is
will.
wide open. I mean, anyone can go out, except for Leipzig.
It's not a drum, by the way, it's fireworks. Just being told.
Wait, they're shooting fireworks?
Up into the night sky for the victorious group of Group A.
This might be a first time in FIFA history. We got fireworks out front.
Apparently Hollywood went and bought some.
Well, that was the second goal then for Wave against Apogee Poland for Stingray and Fuma.
How impressed have we been by Group D? It's pretty much it's open for the top team to go away, but I did not back Apogee Poland to be that side leading the pack, Brandon.
No, but I think one thing that's so interesting about that Apogee team is, look, they're a Portuguese esports organisation, but they've just made an investment in the Polish scene. They've gone, look, in the nice way possible, who's playing in this Polish esports team at a national level, an E-Nations level? They've picked them up, and it's working out wonders for them as we join that game now at the perfect time as they find an equaliser against Atlantside Wave to tie the game up at 2-2.
That was dirty. That had some of that extra filth, that nastiest that you need, or that nastiness that you need, I should say, inside the box. Little skill, reposition, throws them off, 75th minute. We got a lot of tight games in this round as well.
Head just went down there for Fuma. This is the one that matters, especially for you two on this couch over here. America taking on England, DC taking on City.
I think we should just leave it here. I think we should just leave it here.
The battle for fourth, as it currently stands.
Just watch this then for a minute. DC then. Let's see if they have what it takes to break this City team down. A lot of other teams have managed to, haven't they, in the dying moments. 10 minutes almost left to go.
And Man City thrown away a 2-0 lead.
You're asleep on that couch.
First I was a bit distracted.
Are they going to concede? They don't want another point, surely. Why can't they hold these games out then, Mike? What are they doing against DC that's gone totally wrong?
Not being able to hold on the lead is a big problem. It's the same situation with game management. A lot of space to work with here. You can feel the belief from DC. Whipped in cross. Can he find somebody? Not quite. Second man. Goes for a player lock on the first time. Doesn't quite connect. DC might even look the more likely. If you're Manchester City right now, you should be holding for the last shot, last possession, last build-up play. Secure that opportunity.
It should be such a common reoccurrence, leading in games and conceding goals late on, 3 points dropped, 1 point gain for a lot of these Man City results.
Especially in best of one FIFA.
You can't do it.
A 2-0 lead in best of one FIFA, you've got to look after that.
He come forward, played out wide, no real space though in that area. We talked about last attack, I think this is where we're going to see it now from City, just hold this possession and try and manufacture one final opportunity to grab all 3 points, a crucial 3 points that could put a bit of distance between themselves and DC United for that 4th place position. Such a tightly contested group.
Almost like just playing out for the draw now. They just want to keep hold of that ball.
Giving the ball away though.
DC United.
DC are going to come forward.
Oh my, DC
Here we
United.
go.
Power shot!
Oh, come on! Come on! Let's go!
That game there completely changes that group dynamic.
It does,
CJ and Ajit Power with a massive 3 points.
They move up to 10 points on the board. That is amazing. Let's go back to this one then, 1 apiece. I'm also keeping an eye on the Ajax-Brazil game, RB Leipzig. Ajax then still leads.
Hey, Saudi fans like that. I'm just throwing it out there. We got a connection.
So 2 big games still underway here. Around the ground, Atlantai and Apogee are drawing. Bromby lead Team Flash 3-1.
Ajax still 1-0 up against RB Leipzig.
That's what I just said,
well.
yeah. And that's the biggest biggest game there. We see this one out and they will go over to the Leipzig game after this one has just been completed.
One final chance here for that short free kick. Gives away possession. That'll do us full time. Points distributed evenly. As we head into the final 4 minutes, Brandon. AFC Ajax with a massive 3 points as it currently stands against league leaders RB Leipzig.
These though, Brandon, were the only team that made them come a bit unstuck yesterday, drew to Ajax Brazil, did RB Leipzig. So something about this Brazilian team they can't really break down?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's this South American play style that they're not used to. But on the other side of it, RB Leipzig had such a good day one, and obviously winning their first game here as well. As I said before, they don't really need to do anything here. They're guaranteed to be through if they want to keep that top spot, which I think they will do regardless of this result. Added time of 2 minutes, but you're going to see a huge vamos from the Brazilian booth with the 2 Ajax players. Resende and PH in, seconds away. There's PH in, you can hear him right now.
That's not a good result either, is it, for Riders? It just means the gap widens between them and going through. So all these results now do affect the results between the teams.
And I've always had a theory that you have a lot of these interchanging results because of a will to win. I wanted to ask August this. That's why you see those draws, the late game drama, the mistakes, the errors, the big moments, rising to the occasion. I don't know why I went here. I heard the fireworks again. How do you feel about that, August? You compete at the highest level, you won events. I always feel like that's why we see a lot happening in the group stage shows, that will to win kind of kicks in.
Yeah, definitely. That's also why we see like the intensity, the emotions coming out here. We also saw just Anders, like they're already through. They already won the group basically, but he's still so upset that they didn't get 3 points or at least a point. It means everything, and as a professional, you want to win every game. No draws, no losses, just wins. So yeah, very, very interesting to see.
Well, this is always also when Hollywood will be looking and going, ooh, okay, RB Leipzig didn't win that. Could they drop to second? Could Goliath just edge them out at the top? Not at the moment. Goliath on 11 and RB Leipzig on 16. But let's go to the Ajax boys then. Resende and PH in with Spen.
Yes, I'm here with Ajax Brazil. Just picked up a big win against none other than Red Bull. The Riders, wasn't it? You just beat.
Against the Red Bull now, anyway.
Red Bull. So that was the first loss of their tournament. Not the first win for you, but an important win for you. You've had back-to-back wins now. Came into today on 5 points. Probably weren't very happy, but now you're on 11. Must be much happier.
Yeah, yesterday I think we started playing good, but like for the last 3 matches, I think we don't play good enough, to win. But also against Red Bull yesterday, I think we had chances to get the victory. But today we just play better and get the victory.
What is the secret to beating them? Because you're the first team to beat them. There's only one unbeaten team left in the tournament, by the way, and that is our friends from Apogee Poland, who we'll hopefully speak to later. But what is the secret to beating the RB Leipzig boys?
I think they play very well, Red Bull. So to be in this tournament against these players, we dream it. So that's it.
And how far can you guys go? Obviously representing both Ajax and Brazil, 2 massive names in football.
I think we believe in our gameplay, so we can get the trophy here with Ajax and also get the trophy with Brazil again.
Great stuff, well done guys. 2 back-to-back wins for them. We're going to go up the stairs now and we're going to start talking to the guys from DC United, obviously MLS-based team. They've just picked up a massive win, and it wasn't just a win, it was a comeback from 2-0 down against the Man City boys, 3-2. What does that mean to you?
That's a huge win, huge confidence booster, because yesterday didn't go as planned. A bit disappointed. I think I let down my teammate, but today I'm showing up and I'm happy with that.
Much like the lads I just spoke to from Ajax Brazil, you've got back-to-back wins today, perfect start. You said yesterday you needed to change some things. What have you changed?
Honestly, it's mostly mental. I felt like mentally I was letting myself down, doubting myself. I know I have what it takes to win here and be the best, so I just need to trust myself and let the process go its way.
Trust the process. Good words indeed. 2 teams absolutely loving life here on day number 2. I know Mike LaBelle's very happy with that DC United win as well. Back to you guys.
Huge win there, King CJ said. He said he changed things around mentally, Mike. That was interesting, wasn't it?
I think it's a huge shift for Manchester City, but also I wouldn't say that DC United is going to be a team that's full of goals. They have to kind of be perfect with a lot of their offense, the counter-attacking play. The fact they were able to get manufactured 3 goals in that game, that's big-time reassurance. That's felt like relief when you were talking to CJ. You heard that reaction. It sounded as if, okay, we're doing the D today. Yesterday they defended okay, but they didn't have the offense.
Well, that's obviously DC United in D. Let's have a look at who they're coming up against next then. Team Flash. On paper, that looks like quite a nice round 8 fixture for them. Man City, well, I don't know what to say about who they face. They just need, if they get the early goal, to keep hold of that win. They're going up against the Atlanta Wave boys. They know, obviously, Stingray really well. And Apogee Poland take on second place Bromby. That's first taking on second there. Let's quickly go to Group C then. See who's coming up. So, oh wow, Riders taking on Ducks. Ajax Brazil on the back of that big win, taking on Goliath, who are having a great run, and SPQR against Leipzig, Mike.
I think the big takeaway is Riders, Atletico Madrid in that position where they need a must-win. Have we got there? I think we're starting to run out of points that are available.
I said this about 45 minutes ago, but
they're still getting through.
They're both on 7.
I think in this game, Ducks America fancy it. They beat them in order to qualify in the Spanish region. That was the route that they took. They had to beat Heretics, Atletico de Madrid and Coy. They did that. Ducks, Zazinho and Neat. I think they'll fancy it. I think they'll look at this game and go, yeah, we can do this.
Well, we're talking about that game. It's 4th taking on 5th in Group C. They're both on 7 points. Again, if it comes down to what we saw earlier on, Ducks need a few more goals.
They do, yes. But I think their main focus right now will be, if we win this game, the odds are we're through.
Well, SPQR as well. They're not out of it just yet. I know they're up against Leipzig. Leipzig on the back of a bad result against another Brazilian team. Maybe the Brazilians had to beat them.
I think they're going to punish him. I don't think you want to go against Anders after a loss.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that just takes it all personal.
Yeah, right, you are there, I would agree. In terms of Goliath Gaming, again, really just got to keep their head now, Aggie? 11 points.
Yeah, it's looking very promising. I mean, they're almost there, but that can also be the hardest part when you're so close to advance from the groups and you're just thinking, just need those last points. You can start to get a bit too eager, start to take some more risks. They just need to continue what they've been doing so far because it's been great.
What does Benny tell Ryan and Shells when they're taking on Atlanta Wave? What does he say? What does he have to say now?
If we score first, keep the ball.
Yeah, but they haven't been doing that, so that doesn't work, Brandon.
At this point, I just think there's going to be a lot of mental doubt maybe. If you're going up 2-0 in games and you're throwing it away, they need to just have a bit of a check with themselves. Look, we keep qualifying for this tournament. Back yourself. You come out of one of the most difficult situations in terms of their region split. I think they stopped Team Hullet, FC Twente from getting here. Back themselves. They're here for a reason. They keep scoring goals and getting in front. Defensively, lock the door.
I think the thing that will annoy Ryan, Shells, everyone at City more than anything is if they've just got battered every game, they go, okay, yeah, people are better than us. But the fact that they're in every single game, most of those games leading, and can't get over the line, you've got to be so annoyed with yourself that we know we're good enough, we know we've got the quality, we just can't get over that last hurdle.
And I still look back on the Brøndby game. There's no excuse there. They have the ball with the goalkeeper. It's the 90th minute. Take one more dribble and then clear it. No chance for a counterattack. That's what everyone's doing here. And those types of moments, it sounds so minor, but welcome to competitive FIFA. You need every little margin.
Aggie, their plan A isn't working. What's their plan B? What should it be?
I think there are two things when you're having a lead that's absolutely crucial where Man City has failed today and a bit yesterday, is what are you doing with the ball in the last minutes? Because obviously you're not going to start kind of wasting time early on in the game because the game's still open. But in the last 5 minutes, you're making sure you're not throwing the ball away in dangerous areas. And that's what they've done in some of the situations. The other situation is switch formation to another one. Clearly it's not working, 3 games in a row. Try something else. I'll say, I would reckon that should be the talk now.
Well, this is round 8. This is our featured game. Man City taking on Atlanta Wave. We're looking to see if Man City can get the early goal. Oof, nearly there. And if they do, can they hold on to a lead? Haven't managed to do it so far today.
What opportunity for DC United. Win this game. Oh, they're out of the conversation in terms of scraping 4th place.
It was a draw yesterday between Atlanta and Man City, 1-1 when they matched up. A draw doesn't do anyone any favours right now. Atlanta were thinking, let's win this and just sort of definitely cement ourselves. We don't want to get dragged into something ludicrous. Man City, if they don't win here, points could be against them come round 9 and 10.
Right, well, let's go then to the crucial game in Group C. Riders Ducks. It is 4th taking on 5th here.
Yeah, there's a lot in this as well because outside of this tournament, Ducks America, they played in La Liga this year a lot against Atletico Madrid in regular play. They know these players really well in a 1v1 and a 2v2 level here. So we need to keep a very close eye on this game. Atletico Riders desperate. I mean, both are desperate for a win, but more so Riders just haven't had a good start today.
I feel like Ducks America, though, they've got such key players in their squad. A bit like a Man City, such experienced players that haven't found their rhythm here, Mike.
It's also a 2v2, it's a little bit different. We're talking about the success that Zinho's had in the past. That's a 1v1 setting. We talk about a lot of the recent success from Neat and with La Liga, also what he was able to accomplish in terms of even E-Champions League and going through the playoffs, getting himself into different positions. Even though the playoffs didn't necessarily work out for him, but he's been on the cusp of kind of that next step, and I still think he's growing. I don't know how everyone interprets it, but I feel like he's getting a little bit better every year.
So young still. So young. I think he's like 18, 19, and he's won 2 La Liga titles, stupid amounts of prize money.
Top 8, E-Champions League again. And it was looking good. It was looking good in a lot of that. And remember how young these competitors are. There's so many people that are taking part as well. We look at pro players. How many pros do we have in the scene? Realistically, we gotta be over 200 maybe between all these different organizations and teams and guys that are like right there that are competing in FGS.
Well, Ducks a little bit on the counter, kind of stalled a bit. So on that note, we'll go over to Flash DC United. This would just keep the momentum then, wouldn't it, with the boys from America and Canada here.
I mean, it's also a game that if you look at the group for DC United, you go, yes, please. We'll take it on Team Flash, bottom of the table. Not really picked up many points. Yeah, we'll have that game to potentially qualify and do the business when you need to. It's worked out really nicely for DC United. You don't have to win every game. You just got to win at the right times.
Well, there's big storylines to unfold. If you go to RB Leipzig's game first, if possible, you said about not annoying Anders Vergang because he'll be outscoring goals and grittying you, as he did just against SPQR. Well, we can give you an update on that one. RB Leipzig leading by a goal to nil. But the bigger story, Man City and landside wave. We'll go to the RB Leipzig game first and show you the goal that we missed. SPQR just not dealing with that pressure from RB Leipzig. Maybe a fortunate bounce back, but it was all about that skill move exit into the gritty. RB Leipzig lead that one by a goal to nil. Well, then here, Man City, if you're a Man City fan, close your eyes because of landside wave are leading by a goal to nil.
You haven't even managed to get the lead in this one, have they? Atlanta Wave got first blood.
I'm still stuck on that crispy body feint, split in the defense. Beautiful goal from RB Leipzig. And I'm telling you, we've all been a part of it. You don't want to make Anders mad. He even went after Kyle Walker. He didn't like what he had to say. He was yelling at him during the game.
Yeah, that was when we were in Istanbul, of course, the Champions League. He was shouting in the face. I believe it was Oberon, wasn't it? When he was up against Oberon.
He was going after everybody. Tuga had brought his family. He went after Tuga's family.
Well, he's a very fiery performer. And is very young, first proper competitive year. He's still learning, but we do like it when he gets really worked up. It does just bring out his passion, doesn't it? How important FIFA is.
You know him more than us, Aga. You've played with him, you've played against him.
I certainly know him. I mean, we've been playing at the national team, and it was practicing matches.
Oh.
And
what's it like when that happens, when you concede 1-0 to 1-1? How do you actually team with him? Like, do you just say, you just do whatever you want, I'll just try and keep with you?
You have to, don't you?
I mean, as far as I remember, it was his first, when we played together, it was his first kind of participation with the national team. And obviously there's a mutual respect between all the players that are there. But we also know that, like, we have to try to find a way to make him play his A game, because his abilities are, at least in our opinions, in FIFA 21, he was by far the strongest player. So I just try to settle in, kind of. But yeah, definitely, he's a special character and he's still very young. So I'm looking forward to see his journey.
Half-time then, Ajax Brazil on the attack.
Oh, well defended. What a tackle.
Wow, that is top quality defense, because the extra passing, the reading the game, just spectacular.
Well, let's jump back into a game which had a bit of action. Mike?
You'll be happy with this one.
We got DC United working in, a couple ball rolls, make me smile, green time finish, outside of the boot, 1-0, 35th minute. We're cooking.
Well,
and it's dinner time right now, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, if it's dinner time, what are these having for their main course?
A little tap in.
And also, Mike, we spoke about it before, you mentioned this, like, sometimes when you get a big result, like a last-minute winner, it starts something for you, like it kicks something out. You start to get that momentum, and maybe that's what we're seeing with DC now.
I just throw it back to that Spen interview. You could see a smile. You could feel a different energy, a different aura around King
You need a
CJ
big
from
moment
yesterday.
to go far.
You knew they were going to get the results. They're carrying that energy, as you're saying. They're carrying that momentum. And mentality is so important in competitive FIFA. Might be the most important thing. Everyone has the ability at this level. It's a matter of who can put it together in those key moments.
Go under the radar a bit as well. It's nice, possibly, when we don't talk about them too much. A little bit less pressure on DC United, just going about their business, Trannan.
Well, I think the one thing that we don't know about DC United as well is that this year they beat Complexity to qualify, but last year they lost in the qualification game for Copenhagen. So the fact that they've come on a year from that, with that heartbreak from that qualification game, and put it right and got here, I think it means a lot for them to be in this 24.
And they've also got to keep up with the Atlanta Wave, because they're winning as well. So it's third and fourth, just keeping up with each other here, not letting someone get too far away. Back on Riders,
sure, yeah.
Ducks.
There'll be a lot of people at home saying, Tuga, what's happening with Tuga? And Donny, current champions. This result doesn't really help either of them. A draw doesn't help anyone at this juncture.
I feel like it would be very typical Tuga and Andoni in the last round to score a late goal to secure them top four.
and if we can, I'm just making a request. I know it's not a high-scoring affair, but I want to know what happens. I need to see what's going to happen. We need more of this gameplay between Ducks and Riders. This is a real decider for this group to have a degree of separation.
Well, they stay, don't they, in fourth and fifth on 8 points if it stays like this. We can watch this for a short while. We can bring you some scores just verbally from around the other grounds. Not much happening there. It's all on the defending champion. All eyes are watching this match. Let's just wait then, let this one breathe a little bit, boys.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because we've not seen that level that we expect from Riders and Atleti. Again, just on the edge of the box, can't quite manufacture an opportunity. Back out wide, Russell had whipped into the box, but it's just going to fall nicely for Ducks America. And again, we reset, we wait. Will there be a late goal? It's been drama-filled all day today at the Club World Cup, from Fnatic being eliminated in the last kick of the game, potentially to someone qualifying.
Another goal, though, around the grounds. Does come that Atlanta Wave Man City game.
Looking to return the favour for a lot of their opponents, Man City, after leading for majority of their matches.
Not enough, though. Not enough for the boys at the moment. I mean, in terms of a point, they need 2.
Yeah, they have to pick up all 3 and pick up the victory.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with DC United winning as well.
And Atlanta, both winning at the moment. I believe. Oh, that's obviously a draw for them, but you know, points getting away from them elsewhere. Do you want to stay with this, or do you want to go back to Riders?
Let's head back over to Riders, Ducks America. All Spanish affair, you could say. Which you saw the Riders Atletico Madrid lifting a trophy not too long ago. That was at Portaventura World in Barcelona.
I've been there before, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a day around the theme park the day after. It was for the La Liga Cup. They were victorious, beating Heretics in the final in a great 2-legged matchup. So they've lifted trophies already this season. The one they want to get their hands on, the Club World Cup, for the 2nd year in a row. As it stands, might be getting grouped.
Well, Leipzig, then I just saw in the corner of my screen, they've just got another goal in their game.
Time is ticking.
Pretty easy. We can see another goal then for Leipzig over SPQR.
A lot of space to work with. Too much space. Little ball around the goalkeeper. Extends the lead. 3-1 for RB Leipzig. And again, kind of refreshes that they're still leading this group. They're still the team to beat.
Well, this one then is about who is at the top of the table in Group D. Is it Apogee Poland or Brøndby at the moment? If Brøndby keeping the lead, it will be that team. 12 points to 13 at the moment.
One is, you can say, 2 teams that are pretty much on their way through to the knockout stages. We'll give it to you as soon as we can. A goal from that Atlanta Wave game against Manchester City. Very important to keep an eye on that one. With so much on the line. Which way has he gone? It's gone the way of the French side. The ball's ricocheting and bouncing around the box. And R9 just somehow finding a way around Virgil van Dijk. We're joining this game live now. 20 minutes left to play. Man City desperate for something out of this game.
Desperate for something out of this game. Not a point though, Brandon. They want 3. They've got to have 3. Only 2 games left after this. 6 available points. They need some more points on the board.
And you feel for City too. I know we've been kind of critical of them, but this is competitive FIFA. Shells and Ryan Pessoa are 2 of the most likable guys on the scene. And they've had so much success throughout their career as well.
Absolutely. On the attack. Oh, that wasn't what they wanted there. Stingray putting his hands up. What's that about?
Match. Yeah, more than likely. Maybe just apologising.
Friends, are they sitting next to each other? I'm not actually sure their proximity in the arena. 3-1 then. Let's go back to Riders. Still haven't managed to.
Just had a couple of big chances from set pieces, no surprise. Whipping the ball into the box. Couple of headers. One hit the post, the other one with a great near miss. This is Ducks America on the attack. And just slide up.
Is that mistimed on the finish? What happened there? I think they had the extra pass as well. They might have hesitated, overthought it a little bit. And again, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think a draw does a lot for either competitor. I don't want to be something that's just on repeat. Yeah, it's just not ideal.
Tuga chant rings out the arena.
I love that he has fans in Saudi. A lot of them as well.
A draw doesn't do anything for these two teams, as you mentioned.
They're doing the wave.
Mexican wave? Is that what they're doing, a Mexican wave? Well, they're not Mexicans. The Mexican team, they were in attendance earlier on, weren't they, when Spen got to speak to those guys. He was practicing his Spanish.
See that runner, middle of the pitch, he's made it. Decides to ignore it on this occasion, recycling the possession. Will we get a late winner? A bit of late drama potentially here. Riders Atletico de Madrid, right to left, orange strip. Ducks America. It's early to play for the last attack, but I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, and this is the only game, really, which we haven't been able to find anything. Obviously, Ajax Brazil still leading Goliath. We know what's happening in RB Leipzig. They're up over SPQR, and Atlanta Wave now have very much taken the game to City, 3-1 over there.
5 minutes left to play. Something has to give for Ducks America. The ball bounces nicely. Reversal has to go in the box. Good tackle, good footing. And with that possession turnover, you probably think Tuga's just told Andoni, keep the ball, let's keep this last attack.
I don't need to have that conversation.
It's mental, you just know straight away. Will there be some late drama? Will there be a late winner? 3 points looks a lot more healthy than 1. With only 6 left to play for. Gigi Buffon getting a run out at centre back. There's not long left to go. If you're going to go, it's got to go now. Whipped out wide. That's going to do us 1 point apiece.
And that's such smart defending from Ducks. They go with a little more of a press. It doesn't allow them to build up and get to those central positions that allow you for the entry passes. And the clock was against them, of course.
You've been watching that one, Brandon. Man City, it's just not been happening for them.
Yeah, been keeping a close eye on 2 of the games. I mean, more importantly, DC United are going about their business very quietly. They're 3 minutes away from a 1-0 win. But for Man City, it's looking pretty bleak right now. You can pretty much confirm Atlanta Wave are going to be seeing this one out. 2 minutes on the clock plus additional time. Gets to a point for Man City when they look back and think, if what maybe could have been.
That momentum, they're carrying that type of energy, they're carrying that vibe.
Well, quickly then, just to confirm, Man City then do lose that game. Unfortunately, they couldn't ever make a comeback there. Aggie.
Yeah, and I believe we also have the only unbeaten team left in the competition. Just won't give up. They won't lose, because I believe we have a goal for FIFAe Poland, who strikes back again. We've seen them come back so many times now. They refuse to lose a FIFA match.
They do, and that was one apiece between top and second in that group.
Full-time results from around the grounds as well. Mike LaBelle will be happy. DC United back-to-back wins confirmed from those guys. They pretty much are in the top 4. You can't lie, with not many games left to be played. A massive 6 points back-to-back.
Yeah, massive points for DC. Mike's happy, Richard not so much after Man City got a loss there. Well, that's 8 rounds then. The fixtures completed just about. FIFAe Poland and Bromby, they're still just seeing out that game, I believe. They're not quite finished, but great close encounter between those 2 teams.
I was just looking at the groups from last year. You might like, Richard, where you're going with this. Ajax are on a move right now. Last year at the FIFAe Nations Cup, Brazil were terrible on day 1. They picked up 10 points out of 12 on day 2 and flew through. Pretty much the same roster. Granted, Resende's there in the coaching position last year, but PHC just does not know when to die.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talking about that, we've still got another goal, I believe, in that Poland-Bromby game there. 1 more goal for the team in yellow.
Something happened. I saw August's foot started twitching. Whenever I see that August's foot twitch from across the way, I know that Bromby's done the business. They've done something, and they've made it late. They made it great. 84th minute. These guys are offensive and offensive. It's just a joy to watch. It's got to be said.
And now the Saudi locals here, I think they're just becoming fans with whoever is in the driving seat. They just love it. They just love all of the action and the drama that we are treating them to here today on day 2. It is pretty exciting. Well, FIFAe Poland then, and Bromby. Looked like Bromby were going to take that one 2-1. I think Got a couple more minutes to go, 6 more on the clock. Aggie, enough time for them to keep hold of this lead here?
Yeah, but I mean, they still have a shot, and the history will say that FIFAe will get a chance to come back here. But I mean, let's see if it's the curse of the commentator. We've seen it so many times today as well, especially referring to you now, Mike.
I didn't talk on this one. I'm not coming into the curse.
Follow this. They decide to just kick the ball when there's a different way.
Time to come in, last chance! Commentator's curse, there you go.
Threw it out there. That was not my doing. August made that happen. These guys won't lose. These guys from Poland won't lose. Look at that.
I think they're a fan of all the clubs.
They're just cheering for everyone now, Aggie. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, great result.
I love these guys.
FIFAe Poland to make a comeback. That is something special. They say then, don't they, at the top of the standings in Group D. Sorry, look at them. They look like they have had an absolute workout over there. It was great to see them make a comeback. We thought that game had completely been done and dusted there. It wasn't to be. Well, Spencer, have you got have a time for them to catch their breath? What are they going to say about that?
I thought I was about to say to them, guys, you finally lost the game. But no, they don't know how to lose, like Mike said. Let's come in here now, see if we can get a word with the lads. Guys, you don't know how to lose games of FIFA, do you? You just keep finding ways to get points.
Yeah, that's true. We actually didn't lose any single game. We're drawing a lot, but we're still unbeaten. So
you're the only unbeaten team in the whole tournament. Should people be looking at you as a potential winner? Because I know you're drawing a lot, like you said, but when it gets, you're going to get out of the group now. When you get into the knockout football, 2 legs, not being beaten and getting draws can be quite a good skill.
Yeah, that's true. If we will not lose a game, we will be world champion. So that's fact. Let's keep it up, and yeah, that's it.
Is there a bit more pressure on you now because you're the only unbeaten team, because you're top of your group? You know, it's a good group. You're keeping people like Bromby, who just drew with Atlantide Wave behind you as well. You've got some games to go still, but should people be looking at you as a tournament favourite?
Maybe not. I would not say that it's a pressure. It's building a confidence that we didn't lost. So yeah, that's the fact. If we'll keep it up, we'll win next games. We have 2 more, so we're looking for 6 points.
Well done, guys. That would be an amazing story if they can finish the group unbeaten. No one's done it here. I'm going to go up there now. I'm going to head up to Atlantide Wave, who have only lost the 1 game. They're sitting joint second. There's actually a couple teams on 13 points. 3 teams, to be precise, on 13 points in this group. So it's still very much up for grabs. And the FIFAe Poland are only on 14 points. We've got Stingray here. So you only dropped the 1 game earlier today, but you're still looking very good. 13 points. There's 3 teams on 13 points in your group. And FIFAe Poland just ahead on 14. The group's there to be won still, isn't it?
No, of course. I mean, like I said, it's a disappointment if we don't win the group. We've not played our best today. We beat the best team in our opinion here in our group. So
who's that?
Man City. I'll be honest. Everyone else, I don't want to be harsh, but no one's as good as them.
You said Man City?
Yeah, Man City and us are the clear favourites in my opinion in this group.
You know, Man City are almost certainly out of the group now.
I mean, yeah, that hurts to hear. They're obviously my good friends, really close friends.
That's why I'm wondering if you're doing a little bit of English looking after the boys, because they're sitting on 6 points, Flash obviously on 3. They've got to win both their remaining games. That would put them on 13. I don't think it would be enough because there's so many teams on 13. So I think City are probably out. So if you're saying they're the best teams in the group apart from you, look at the rest of the tournament, the other teams that are in it. Who do you fear? Who would you like to play in the final if you get there?
I'll be honest, I would love to play Twisted Minds, obviously because the fans, that's something I drive to play in front of. Something I just play better in front of as well. I'd love to play them.
Are you brave enough to give the Saudi Arabian fan base a little bit of stick if you're scoring against their boys?
Of course, I'd love to.
Watch this space. That could be what Atlantide Wave get up to. They're probably going to get out of the group. I think that's fair to say. The top 4 of that group's probably decided now. But who's in what positions from 1 to 4 is completely up for grabs. And that is important when it comes to seeding in the knockouts. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? What Stingray was saying. Man City, he thinks, a favourite in their group, or were favourites in the group. Obviously not. Sitting on 6. In terms of performance, they may be a great team. They can't perform.
No, mathematically, it's not possible. They're done.
No, he wasn't saying they were going through. He was just saying he thought they were one of the best teams in the group, which maybe they are on paper, but they haven't ended up like that, have they, in Group D here? Man City, like Spence said, possibly looking like they're going out. 6 more points. So that would take them, well, they are going
12,
out, would take to 12.
They're out, yeah.
They're going out, so I don't know why he was bigging them up so much. Again, he said they were friends, so he's obviously just giving his friends a little bit of English connection there. Group C then, RB Leipzig have lost a game, remember, on their way to 19 points. Brazil, they were responsible for that on 14, Goliath 11. Riders still in contention, 8 as a Ducks. Both got a draw, didn't they, against each other in that last matchup. SPQR
Still
on
in it.
6.
Still in it, SPQR, yeah. That group, I mean, you would say Ajax probably through. Not mathematically, they still get caught potentially, but the chances are they're through. Goliath game in, just going to get one more win. One more win and you're in. And then it's 3 teams for 1 spot. It's going to be electric these last few games.
Group D then is completed. It's about where they finish in terms of who finishes in the top 4. It's all about Group C then, as Lee just joins the party here. Lee, you just missed the standings. That's fine. Group D is completed pretty much. It's just where they finish. This is the fixtures then in Group D. So I'm looking at DC United there for Mike against Apogee Poland, who are still unbeaten. They were just saying there, yeah, great day at the office for them.
I can only be transparent. My focus is completely on Group C now. I want to see how it kind of finishes up. We've been building, myself included, majorly, the initiative with Tuga and Doni. They might not do the deed on paper. I'm still sticking by them, but there's some question marks.
And that Riders game, Ajax is a massive game. Riders on 8 as a Ducks, the top there, Leipzig. Both really tough matchups there though, Lee, for both those two that are still waiting to see who makes it into the top 4.
Yeah, I kind of feel for Riders that they're getting away with it right now because Ducks and SPQ are kind of limping along and they're just limping over the line into that 4th place. I feel that if one of these teams steps up, I mean, Ducks that's a hard match for them straight away, Leipzig. But I feel if one of them can step up in his last 3 games, there's a chance the Riders could slip out.
Well, Riders, no one wants to see them slipping out. SPQR though, Rich says they've still got a lifeline.
Oh, absolutely. You're 2 points off. You've got a big game coming up, which you would think, let's just go and do something. For me, I had Ducks winning the group in our predictions. They're not going to do that. But I think they'll go through. I do think they're going to go through.
Who's got the easier ride then? SPQR Goliath?
Yes.
They're sitting on the outside for you.
I think SPQR potentially get 3 points against Goliath, and then Goliath might get brought back into it because they're not safe either yet.
Really tough matches coming your way to decide the fate of the teams in Group C. We know Group D has been concluded there. There are still 3 teams who could mathematically make it through to that 4th position. The noise is just going crazy. It's going through the roof here. The local fans love it. I'm really struggling to hear myself speak. I don't know how the guys can hear what I'm asking.
What are we cheering for?
I'm happy that they're happy. Oh, they got the hometown. The hometown kids are there. They should be cheering. I'm not going to lie, I'm stressed out going into these games.
In fairness, they've been cheering on a lot of teams. Like they were cheering on Apogee, they were chanting Apogee, and they've been chanting on RB Leipzig as well. So it's been pretty good to see. They're not just supporting the Raptors when they're not playing; they are here for the day, backing the teams. I love it.
Oh, it's great to have, isn't it? The Raptors in there, actually just supporting all the teams in A and B. Well, I can see it behind me. The matches have kicked off in round 9. Go to DC then, Apogee Poland, my LaBelle, we'd love to see it.
No doubt about it. See if DC can carry some of that momentum. You can't really say the Polish guys have ever not been ready, prepared, focused, dialed. We can keep inserting superlatives. They just don't lose games. They have so much heart.
We can see all the games from us. I'm going to let you take this one, Mike. I'm going to watch this game on the left. I'm going to watch Group C. I'm going to keep my eyes on Ducks and Riders. Ducks RB Leipzig. I mein, this game, electric. I'll get you all the updates.
I think we should move it into the mainstream game. I need to see some of this Group C action on display, how it unfolds.
We'll do that in a moment's time as we stick with the American one. But yeah, massive game here. What have you made then of Apogee, Lee? Why you've been sitting out and having a little watch backstage, still undefeated, the only team to be so.
Yeah, and only just. They just managed to sneak one in the last game, didn't they? Last moment. But yeah, I mean, absolutely fantastic stuff. This is what you love to see, and this is what comes out of Club World Cup and 2v2s, etc. You can get that young players that aren't doing so well maybe in the 1v1. I mean, it's a little unfair for Finn because he's done well in 1v1, but you can have these young lads come through and absolutely play fantastic. And look at the team spirit that they have. Like this is a team. Like you can all talk about 2v2s, and you can look at sometimes they're like separated, and then almost looking at each other like blaming each other. But these guys are like all up, 5 of them, all sat there as a team, as a unit, and it's paying off. They're doing fantastic. Unfortunately for Mike, DC are down.
Well,
all right, they're going to get through. They're going to get through the group, so happy days. That's been done and dusted.
Right, if we can go to a Group C game, I think Riders, Ajax would be a great one to go to.
Any Group C game in Group C would be good to go to. Riders, IFC, obviously Ajax coming into this one, Nations champions. We heard a great interview from Resende. Obviously, he was feeling very confident after they picked up that win earlier on. But, you know, they've actually played a lot better today, I feel, than they did yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Riders then, Ajax, it's about Goliath and SPQR and Ducks RB Leipzig. All 3 games have massive meanings as we come to the end of day 2 here. Just 2 more matches to go for each of these clubs.
Has that been one of the household or one of the run-of-the-mill type of ways that they create space here with those deep switches? Outside of the boot, goalkeeper movement was on point. And not that there's ever a good time technically to play Ajax, but Ajax has been phenomenal today compared to yesterday, so it's really not an ideal position if you're a Riders fan or an Atletico Madrid fan. You're running into a team that has been getting into full
flow. Could be a chance here for that to be full flow. Good save. Steady hands. It's got to be said.
Well, let's see what's happened in the Ducks game. RB Leipzig as well. Oh, we got a penalty in one of them. Oh, it was saved. Maybe we can see that save. It's Goliath SPQR drama unfolding in that matchup.
Just headed over. Ducks America against RB Leipzig. This was the penalty, how it was given, foul in the box, and only a yellow card. Stepped up to the spot. Where do you fancy? Left, right, or middle?
Top right.
Unfortunately, you didn't see the clip. Straight down the middle. Keeper saved it, and SBQR with a big opportunity to go 1-0 up, squandering their chances as we head back into live gameplay here at Ducks America.
I wanted to make you look good, Rich.
Thank you, anytime. It's a working partnership.
I feel like that's been the story of the group for SPQR, because I remember talking about them against RB Leipzig. They were the better team in that game by far, and they ended up losing 1-0. Just a one counter-attack that came out of Leipzig. They had so many chances. They hit the post multiple times in that game, but just couldn't score. You've got to feel they have to get something against Goliath. I mean, they're on 6 points. This is a tournament do-or-die moment for them.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
No time for draws.
No time for draws.
You're the anti-draw. We talked about it on the first day. A couple Ds on display. Dangerous draws. You don't want to see that.
Well, Tex hated that, didn't he, earlier as well? He said, I hate a draw, hate it, hate one leg of FIFA. I'm good at knockouts. Didn't make it to knockouts, did he?
Fortunately not. Fnatic, if you are joining us for the evening session, eliminated from the tournament. This is very dangerous. Free kick, edge of the box. RB Leipzig over it. Couple of runners. Little one to the side. Huge, huge footing for Ducks America to keep this tie level.
And very, very tight games everywhere right now in Group C. Definitely aware of what is on the line now for these teams.
All 0-0 laggy.
Yeah, no goals yet.
We had 1 goal in all the matches?
Yeah. All 6, just the one.
That came from Apogee Poland.
This is often the case. When you get into the nitty-gritty, things get a little more cagey. Every point matters, every opportunity, every possession, every defensive step. Sometimes teams get a little more passive as well. They're not as aggressive. They don't want to make the mistake. They go a little more risk-averse.
SPQR then with a short corner. Can they break down the Giants, the Goliath Gaming duo?
everyone just seems to be defending better now as well. Like almost, the teams have switched on a little bit more. Like, okay, let's stop messing around now. Like we actually need to focus up now. Like this is it.
Almost like they've played a lot of games in groups, and they're a bit more teamwork. Those easy goals are not coming anymore. SBQR, another chance for them, but just not quite working. They're not even recycling it. They just keep trying to stay almost straight down the middle, and it's just, we were talking about this, August, obviously in the back room before. They're talking about like these set-up goals that you get, these nice crosses that we were seeing actually earlier on. Yesterday and today, but they've just seemed to, like you said, everyone's almost gone into shutdown mode, and then they're just sort of like closing it down and just going for the route one effectively, just straight down the middle.
Well, Group C is where it's at, but there are a couple of goals coming through now in Group D. Atlanta Wave then first blood over Bromby. Let's go back to C matches and see what else is happening. Are they all half-time yet? They're all on half-time over there. Let's stick with this one for a short while.
A little bit of a delayed kick-off in this one, as every other game does take us into the halfway point. Bromby and Atlanta Wave both through in Group D, both comfortably into the knockouts. Now you're probably looking, who we're going to be facing. Group B, if you want to try and get top seed, but you're going to be rewarded with the next seed game. Like you can sort of, not to say pick your poison for that knockout game, but you've got a little bit of intel on who you could be facing. Bromby inside the box, great play. I mean, another team, I know Bromby have got a great history in this tournament, 2 wins, E-Superliga victory as well back in the day. Very impressed.
I mean, they somehow always find new talent and make them grow.
Yes.
They had the likes of Pinko and Fredberg before, which was their household names. They had Ustun as well. Then the new generation came with Klenge. He came from the academy, and he went on, I believe, coming second at the playoffs.
Yes.
Qualifying for the World Cup, qualifying for the E-Club World Cup. Then decided one way, Lasse, who also qualified for the World Cup last year. They're always finding the talent, and then they put the last percentages on them, giving them the mental tools in order to grow throughout the competitions. So very impressive from Bromby, and it's a strategy. It's something that they're discussing every year, how to improve. A huge club in FIFA esports.
Back in Group C then, Rich. Back to the big boys that were trying to get through and defend their title.
We've been picking this up a lot, haven't we? And stuff is happened yet. Yeah. Draws all over the place.
Riders, Brazil. Ajax, Brazil here.
It's going to be one of those moments where everybody scores at once.
You're also probably looking around as well going, okay, that's a draw. But you'll not be doing it in game, but maybe in a pause, just a little.
Maybe a coach.
Look around.
Coach might give you a heads up.
Coach just a tap on the shoulder. You're like, it's a goal, mate. It's been a goal.
But that doesn't help anyone though. So they, I don't know if that would just stress them out a bit, because actually doesn't give anyone an advantage.
Especially if I was going into the last game, the final game. I know what I need. It's good to know what's happening in some of the other games. Maybe not every update, but if there's a key moment, 75th minute,
the permutation.
Tell us to cue that pause. We'll wait it out. I've seen that happen at competitive events.
I'm going to have to go down if the last game.
Get your calculator out for the last game, Rich. We need you there.
You hear football players talking about it, right? They go off the crowd reaction. They're like, oh, I think there's been a goal in like that other match down south. There's different things happen. There's different ways of communicating. But Ducks up against RB Leipzig. It's a tough task for them, obviously, to try and keep their hopes alive, to come up against what has become one of the favourites. Obviously, you've got to talk about Basel and one of the favourites, obviously topping the group over there. No, you're not having any mind.
RB Leipzig comes in with so much favoritism. You have the world champ, soon to have a new champion at the end of these few weeks here in Saudi. You also got Anders, who's probably been the most hyped player that we've had in the FIFA community for the last 2 or 3 years, because remember, came out of the scene, wasn't old enough to compete, undefeated, 500 plus games of FUT champs. We're just waiting. We've been waiting. And then he's arrived and he's lived up to the hype thus far.
Well, let's go over to Riders then and see if anything has happened over there. No, is the answer, Rich?
Not really. 65 minutes on the clock. All 3 games, you didn't see the other 2 matches in pauses at this current moment. I just got a leg grab from Mike Rebell. I thought you might have been a chance there, brewing.
Well, your legs start moving a little bit too much for me. The couch was shaking.
Can we get the Saudis to start chanting, we want some goals in Group C? Come on, boys. No one's listening to me. Oh, well, let's go back and watch this then.
As we said before, 1 goal changes every single implication in this group.
Yeah, it's true.
It could just be huge, that one moment, whether it's even RB Leipzig getting a goal at top of the table against Ducks, and then Riders know they've got to go and win then. There's an opening for them. The door's open just a fraction. Ajax come forward. Just dinked out wide. Want to be a ball into the box. A couple of player locks inside the area. Just falls out of play for a goal kick as we go into a pause.
A couple of goals in D though, Rich. None in C, couple in D.
Again, Bromby.
I think they've scored every single game they've played, right? Yeah. They've been scoring for fun in some games as well. One of the very high-scoring teams, but as I say, both 3, it's all about position. Is this it? Is this it?
Ducks America
coming through. One-on-one, scoop.
Oh. Great goalkeeper movement. I was just about to say the goalkeeper movement's outstanding, and he green timed it.
Yeah.
Did everything by the books. But I wonder, they're really going to have to do some multitasking in the last round if these results stand here, because there are going to be so many different scenarios, and they have to play a game of FIFA as well and win it.
A side that we've not really spoken about, we see them here, SBQR. If they get a win in this game, they're in the conversation, like well and truly.
But if they draw, that's it, they're out. I don't think they've got a chance, because they're what, 6 points, I think,
6 and 8.
SBQR?
Yeah, 6 and 8. They're in that group.
We're looking at these games. Leipzig a draw doesn't change where they're going to finish up. I don't know if it really gives Ducks a bump either. A draw would be good for Goliath and their affair, adding to it just another game under their belt. Riders really can't afford a draw. I mean, Ajax has a little more leeway to work with. You're just leaving the door wide open.
Goliath on 11, they're still not comfortable, but another draw, stick them on 12.
I think 12's enough. 12's enough. We got a lot of guys battling with 8 points, 6 points. They haven't made it to the double digits, and you're running out of time. You only got 1 game after this.
Also, the fixtures as well in that last round. SPQR versus the Riders. That could be a win to qualify matchup. So head back underway. So many pauses in this round C matchup. It's stop and start in the final 15 minutes.
Why do they keep pausing so much, Rich?
Probably just to recompose, in all honesty. Sometimes just you've got 20 minutes left to play, you see the ball go out of play, okay, get the quick pause in, the captain has the control over that. As Ajax just crowded out inside the box.
That is what Hollywood said actually about Fnatic. I said, was it you, Paul? They said, no, it was Fnatic trying to frustrate us.
You take that time then as well.
The big reason that we're not seeing the goals is because neither team is committing those additional bodies going forward. You're not seeing a lot of pass and move. You're not seeing as much as some of the direct play.
Hello. Oh, it's a bit too late, yeah.
And then we've had a lot of that too, mishandling of those big moments. Extra touch, wrong skill move, wrong pass, wrong pick out. And that could be the nerves, that could be the pressure. It's not what we've come to expect with a lot of these teams, but it's just been the reality of these matchups.
Ducks then with quite a few step overs there, trying to keep the ball, didn't manage it. Back with Leipzig.
That could be an elimination.
You can hear what's happening, can't
There's
you? Behind
an update.
us.
We've got a goal.
Let's go then. Let's go to
Let's have a look at that goal. It is obviously Goliath versus SPQR. SPQR currently sitting on 6 points. Goliath on 11. This would be Goliath going through in style. They'd go through second in the group if it stays this way at the moment. Because that's obviously a 3-point. Everybody else is just drawing.
Yeah, be up there with Ajax.
Yeah,
Ajax, RB Leipzig and Goliath all like 17, 15, 14 as it stands, I think.
And if there's a tool shed, Goliath's kind of the wrench that you threw it in there. None of us really expected them to do what they've done. And they had the consistency on both days. They score goals, they keep clean sheets, they're closing out matches. They've had the razzle and the dazzle. They'd have those beautiful intricacies when needed.
It's very interesting to see how they play together because Kailan is like one of these flair players that can spiral very quickly in solo 1v1s, but he's got Bianchi alongside him to just calm him down in those heated moments. Very talented player, just can't quite get it going, and the teamwork is just working for him. That's what's making it go.
It is just about these two teams now, Riders, Ducks. Nothing has changed in this at all.
So
Riders then finished 0-0 against Ajax, so we stick with 14 points for Ajax and 8 for Riders. It's about Ducks now. 3 minutes left.
A late goal.
Did you see it coming?
And Riders missed a 1v1. You see it roll back 90th minute. They're rewatching it now, going through the replays. What went wrong for them?
They've also, just here with Ducks, they've been keeping the ball 4, 5, 6 minutes, waiting, holding for this final attack of the game. Spanish community would erupt if a goal goes in right here for Ducks Gaming. Out wide, couple of step overs, getting to the byline. You take a corner if it falls to you. Getting down the byline, dangerous area, good defensive work from RB Leipzig. 2 0-0s in the clutch moments.
All just get a point then, Rich, don't they? So all just edges up 1 point. It comes down to the last game, like it did earlier on. One more game still going though. Goliath, SPQR. If they don't find a point, the Brazilians, I'm afraid to say they are going home.
Even with a point, I'm not sure it's enough once they're going to get to that point. I mean, mathematically, I think it is possible. It'd be 9 and 6, right, or 7, something like that. Something around that lines. But either way, Goliath, 14 points for them. Nobody had that down at the start of the tournament. Nobody had them. This was the group of death. Oh, but SPQR in the dying moments get the through ball they were looking for. Massive, massive goal to keep their tournament hopes alive again in the 90th.
It gives them a lifeline as well. It's tricky because you're going to need help in other games and other results.
No, they're actually in the race because they played Riders in the last game.
Oh
if
my
they win,
goodness.
they go to 10.
Riders stays on 9.
Yeah.
What that did, it didn't change anything. They all just got
put
1 point.
They put them in the race.
They all just got 1 point because they were all draws. So no one actually got anything advantage on anyone else. That's what happened there. Nothing.
But if I'm not
Absolutely
mistaken,
nothing.
does it not drag Goliath into the danger with 12? Because if both Riders and Ducks win, does that not possibly put them in a...
Yes, Goliath they're on 11. Goliath they're on 11, but in terms of the bottom half, they stay as they were going into this, all different points. So now it is just 2 points between 4th and 3rd, which is Goliath.
Yeah. So they're not safe.
No one's safely. No one's safe.
Is that updated? Goliath will be on 12?
They'll be on 12.
They'll be on 12, and then the other two are
Well,
on 9.
let's have a look here, Mike, at these standings.
Help me.
Help me.
Help me.
We'll help you in a short
Let the
while.
graphics guy, give him a moment. Give him a moment.
I need it ASAP. We need it ASAP. We're doing permutations on this side of the couch.
Let me give you them. Calm couch. So, RB Leipzig are on 20. Ajax are on 15. Goliath are on 12. Riders are on 9. Ducks 9. SPQR 7.
So in theory, Goliath could go out if both Ducks and Riders win.
Well, then it deals with head-to-head, goal
I mean,
difference, permutations. I told you the P word, permutations.
Totally confused right now, but there's lots still happening after this ninth match. Richard Buckley's got the calculator out.
Rich wants to talk. Rich just goes permutations ready.
I've just been looking at who they're going to play.
Yes.
As well.
Please give us the schedule.
Ducks versus Ajax.
Yep.
We go RB Leipzig against Goliath, and then SPQR Riders. That's the final round.
Well, final round is still to come. Spen, though, is down there as always with all drama. Where are you going, Riders? Please tell me you're going to go and speak to those boys.
I'm right next to them right now. I've got the Riders guys and Tuka specifically right next to me. They play SPQR in this last game. SPQR have to win, but it's probably fair to say you have to win as well.
Yeah, if Ducks wins this game, we have to win the game. We are now in 4th, but we only depend on us. That's the only thing that is positive right now. But I think we are going to make through. If we play our game this day, I think we are going to the knockout stage.
It's essentially a knockout game, isn't it? And listen, something we know that you're very good at is making yourselves hard to beat, being very patient on the ball. Is it fair to say you haven't won enough games though in this group stage? You've only won one game so far. Lots of draws, but that's not enough.
Yeah, exactly. The draws, it would be better that those draws were mainly, or some of win, some of lose, because we get more points. But it is what it is. The past is the past. Now we are focused on this game, and we hopefully to win the game.
Do you need to change something to win this game? Is it a case of actually coming out your shell and being a bit more offensive in this match, or is it sticking to your normal routine?
Yeah, we're changing a couple of things. I think the mainly thing that we need to get is the first goal. Because if we score the first goal, I think the anxiety, some of the nervous will just leave our body and we'll play naturally and we'll get the win.
Okay, best of luck to the reigning champs. Let's not forget Riders. Now we're going to head over this way and we're going to talk to the guys from Ducks because they're obviously implicated in this whole thing as well. They're also on 9 points, as are Riders, so both teams need to win to get 12. We're going to talk to Zizinho quickly here. Very tense moment, I know, Zizinho, going into this last game. You need a win, really, don't you?
Yeah, we do. That's the only option, and that's what we're going for. We know Ajax is an incredible team, but we have to win.
You've won more than Riders. They've only won the one game, but they've been drawing a lot of games. Like, do you find that something about their play style that worked very well for them last year? They're hard to beat, but they're not maybe scoring enough?
They're hard to score on, I think. They don't score many goals, but you know, they were the world champions last year. So if that's going well for them, then that it's fine. But today we couldn't score any goals, I think, and that's what made us be in this position right now.
Yeah, you haven't got a win today. Your form yesterday was a win, loss, draw, loss, win. You finished and opened with a win. But like you said today, 2 losses, but then 2 draws to bounce back. You need a W now. What are you going to do to get that win?
Yeah, I feel like we're not playing bad enough to have these results. I think we're confident, we're playing good, but something's not clicking in front of the goal, and I hope that in the last game it goes well.
Best of luck to Ducks America there. We've got a lot of teams on single digits. I think one thing we know now is you really need to be getting to 10 points minimum if you're going to be getting out of this group. In this case, they need more than that. I think they need 12. They need to win their game because they've got Riders breathing down their neck. Whatever happens, someone big is going out. Let's find out who.
Yeah, exactly. It's always great to hear from Zizinho then and Tuga as well. 2 massive players there. So much still at stake in this last round of fixtures. 3 points between 3rd and 4th. That's Goliath and Riders there. Then Ducks also on 9 and SPQR on 7. Do you look though, guys, at yesterday's results? Goliath playing Red Bull next. Let's have a look at the fixtures as well. We kind of know what it looks like in there. The fixtures. So yesterday, Goliath took on Red Bull in round 5. They lost 4-0. Big comeback for them to right the wrongs of yesterday. SPQR then, they've got Riders. Riders beat them 4-0 yesterday. They will be looking at that with confidence. Ducks taking on Ajax was 1-0 yesterday to Ducks, so they got the better of Ajax. So actually, both Ducks and Riders won, then it'll take them equal. How do you feel about that?
But neither of them are scoring today. They are struggling to make opportunities. You don't have that creative expression. It hasn't been part of their storyline. And I just noticed in theory here, 10 or 11 points might be enough for that group, which I said would be possible in one of the groups.
Hey, don't you poke me, mister. Go on, Lee.
No, well, I just wanted to say, I think those are head-to-heads, and if you just showed what yesterday's results were, I actually feel we need to be looking at what Goliath's head-to-heads are. I feel like Goliath are in real trouble here. Honestly, if Ducks and what can't I even remember the name? Riders come out on top, then we're looking at head-to-heads because everybody's going to be on 12 points. And then, we saw what the referee discussion was in the last group.
So Richard Buckley gets off his seat and goes down there to the arena to tell us exactly what's going on. I mean, yeah, that would be a bit similar to what we had, and then it went to head-to-head, didn't it, earlier on against Hollywood and Fnatic, because obviously goal difference comes into it a little bit, as does head-to-head.
I think what we can take away from this afternoon, anything we think might happen probably won't happen, and everything that we think is out of possibility probably will happen. SPQR will probably go for it.
Mathematically they can't, so we won't go with that one.
But it's not mathematical impossible. You get 2 losses and they get the bump up with the win.
Yeah, they're on
10
7.
points, 9-9.
Okay, yeah, right.
Mathematically possibly.
Still
give him
possible.
something.
Still
Give him some coffee over there. I got this. I got this locked in.
I'll let you take this.
All right. I'm going to do the math
No, it is.
shortly
If
on the calculation.
SPQR beat Riders,
Tell me more. Tell me more.
they're on 7, so that takes them to 10. Riders stay on 9. And then that would mean if Docs lost to Ajax, Docs stay on 9, and Ajax just progress to the top of the table there, and they would go to 18 points, sorry.
So we've got 4 teams in danger, basically.
4 teams.
Yeah.
Goliath, Riders, Ducks, and SPQR. Stay with us, please. I know lots take in there.
There's a record. There's a record as well. Don't forget. We could be seeing Leipzig going through with the most points. I believe it was 21, or was it 23 for Basel earlier on?
Last year's record though was 25, though.
I
So
mean,
25
21 for Basel.
This year.
21.
Yeah, 21.
For confirmation. As the mathematician, I'm going to do the permutations. I got the phone out. I'm doing calculations. I'm ready to do all sorts of shunts.
Are you saying Basel or Basel? Are you going with the herb or are you going with the
It's
40?
Basel.
I like them both.
As someone that's been there multiple times, it's Basel.
Okay, Flex is traveling over here. You see it?
To be honest, I like Basel.
That's all.
I like Basel.
Well, let's have a look then at how groups A and B finished earlier on today. It was drama if you did miss that. Absolute drama. This then was for a spot, wasn't it, in the round of 16. That was how it was decided. Hollywood, 92-minute goal there. Tex did not expect that one. Hand on his head, Diogo there. Can't quite believe it, and we know actually what unfolded after that. Diogo subsequently left Fnatic. So massive drama. Hollywood, the guys from Australia, going through to day 3 here. And Mark actually said he's never been grouped before, so that record still stands. Great record to have in Championship FIFA as well. Well, all the matches are starting then for our 5th and final fixture. Is round 10 for groups C and D. D is done and dusted. It's just where they finish there. It's all about Group C. 4 teams in it. Right.
There we go.
Let's go.
Yeah, Ajax Dux America. Obviously, must-win game for Dux America. We just heard from Zizinho. They all know, like it's win. Your future's in your own hands. You gotta win the game. It's as simple as that. That's the most you can do. Sure, it might be a case that they win, and we see Riders picking up a win anyway, and it doesn't count. Obviously, then we start looking at head-to-heads, etc., and figuring it out. But as Riders are still holding out 4th place, it means their head-to-head, I've got to assume, is better than Dux already. Mike, the mathematician, he's working all the permutations out right now.
There's a lot of question marks.
All the permutations going through, but for Ajax,
and I think in this situation you can't really rely on just watching the others' results.
Yeah.
You just got to focus on your own
Play your game.
and make sure that you have done your job.
I mean, for me, I think you're doing your own job, but there's also that little bit of looking around at the screen. How's that game getting on?
Just a little flick at the corner of your eye. Yeah.
Like, I just think you're losing a lot of focus if you start to.
It's instinctual. As soon as you hear a shout,
what did I say?
Do you,
Aggie? The Fnatic game. I said that. Why?
Because I had a similar situation myself at the E World Cup in 18, where we were like 4 players who were pretty close in the group. Unfortunately for me, I finished my game first, so I could only just sit and watch. But I decided together with my coach that I'm going to play this match. I'm going to try not to think about the other matches, just get the result that I need.
Yeah, that's really, really crucial, Mike. You're looking at Aggie as if he says you can't do that, but if you're locked in...
I got a big smile. I got a big smile on my face.
You disagreeing with Aggie?
No. I'm sorry, I just tensed up.
Nothing happened, don't worry. Silence didn't mean anything.
Right, just nearly gave him a goal. Pass around the back. SPQR pressed high up the pitch and very, very nearly made them pay.
Rich isn't my favorite captain, but I think I'm getting on the Rich ship. We're going to go for the most unlikely of sequences here. If SPQR is able to win here, they get those 10 points. It also eliminates Riders. And then if they get little helpers, Dux goes down. They'll go through with 10 points, which would also support that 10 points would be enough in one of the groups. And there was a claim made on day one.
Even if Riders go through.
I think maybe I'm voting for that now.
I see the point you actually got around to now.
Even if Riders go through, though, they're still not the same Riders that we saw last year.
It's a reset. Oh no! Surely a goal. Not a goal.
But you can't convert. I mean, they're going for it, both teams. This is it's a bit of a change, going all in. It's what we expect to see. But SPQR, obviously, this is the danger when you're up against everyone that's just playing for their tournament lives. It suddenly becomes a little scrappy, and those little chances, you just sort of start snatching at them. Chances that you'd ordinarily always score. Not the case right now, though. But that has been a goal. We'll get to that in just a moment. SPQR pushed to the byline. It's going to be a corner for SPQR. No. Off it goes.
So goal then came from the goal between RB Leipzig and Goliath Gaming. RB Leipzig didn't particularly need a goal, but of course it was the German side who got one there. Goliath then taking no points at the moment. Let's hand over then to Brazil. We're on there now with Ducks America. There was a massive chance a moment ago, Rich.
Yeah, there was. Ajax Brazil cooked him inside the box. It's got to be said, as Ducks come forward, reverse elastico around the corner. I think that might have been neat. Doing a little bit of a shimmy and a shake. Unfortunately, he ran into her body. That chance, they played the extra pass. He was pulling his leg back to shoot. And Ducks America just threw a body on the line, cleared the danger, and somehow kept the scoreline at 0-0. All two matches, the big games in this group. Ajax, Ducks America, SPQR Riders, both goalless as it stands.
Yeah, we saw that, didn't we, in round 9 of fixtures. They were very cagey affairs. Aggie was speaking about it. He saw this back in 2018. He didn't really want to look around the arena there. Didn't want to take his focus off the task at hand.
Yeah, and I will say that obviously it's a different aspect when it's a team competition. Mine was 1v1, so you obviously have your coach, you have you have support behind you who could notify you if it's very crucial that you get a certain, like a goal, or you just need a draw. So obviously that changes a thing, but still think it's important just when you're playing that you're only focusing on your own match.
As there's not much happening. Oh, there we go, say that, as RB Leipzig just doubled their lead. Just scores from around in Group D, not that it matters much. Quickly give you those. Atlanto Wave 1-0 over Team Flash. Bromby 1-0 over DC. Man City Apogee 0-0. Gasps then over here.
Every save now, every missed touch, every moment that you don't capitalize just means so much more for some of these competitors. In fact, most of them, biggest moment of their career this year.
Big corner for Riders. They've scored a couple of goals already from the corners here, which is why you see them taking their time. They're really trying to work the position. Inside near post is what they're looking for, not the case. Try to clear it, maybe recycle the ball, try and keep the ball alive a little bit here. See if they can work anything in the box. It is going to be a far cross. Nobody in the box, so to meet it. Should be keepers, yeah.
Only game with goals in Group C is Leipzig up 2-0 versus Goliath Gaming. Indira here might be the least important of the group.
Ajax giving a bit of fist bump there, enjoying just keeping a clean sheet at the moment, I think, over.
You can relax as well if you're Ajax through. You picked up those 2 wins, very similar to what DC United did. Won the second and third games today. 6 points, banked, early doors. You let everyone else scrap around you. You do the job early.
Well, they took advantage. They got a big victory versus Leipzig, the only loss that they've taken, and they propelled off that victory, capitalized, got the job done.
Up at half-time, SPQR. Oh. Cycling. 3 times, is it going to fall? Great save.
Pick it out then for the half-time whistle around the grounds. This is the second goal then in that Leipzig game. We were treated to a bit earlier. We saw that just again treated with it one more time then. Well, Ajax have kicked off again, second half, Ducks America. Ajax, like the boys were just saying, happy then to settle really in this fixture because they're already safe and dry. Second in the table, 15 points, just behind RB Leipzig, the team actually they beat earlier.
The main one we need to know is what's the head-to-head between Ducks and Goliath, because that could be the difference. If Ducks get a goal, Because
I have that.
Okay.
So the first time they played, Ducks won 2-1, and the second time they played, Goliath won 1-0. So it's even.
It's even. Where does it fall after that? Referee, come on. Where's the ref on the end there? What's the next rules?
Rashad hasn't got anything for us.
If Ducks win and Goliath lose, it would then just go Ducks.
I mean,
through,
the goal difference would be the difference there, right?
Well, it would just be 3 and 4. They wouldn't be going out.
It would go to actual goal difference, would it, after the head-to-head goal?
Is that
difference?
confirmed? Or are you making this up?
I have no idea. No, that's why I'm asking.
I'm not going on record. You made it sound like a
Richard's the one in
statement.
the referee shirt. That's why I'm asking.
Well, Goliath will be third, and then Ducks will be fourth. So it'd just be the seeding then.
I know it
Both
goes
going through.
head-to-head goal difference, and then the third.
It's third place tie-off between the points
Yeah,
of the teams.
I'm not sure on that final.
Can we get this confirmed, guys? We're
Someone
discussing
in
about it.
production yell at me.
Can we confirm this, please?
Is it going to be one of those weird who scored the earliest or something like that at the time of the goal?
It won't matter! Because Ducks America are doing the business!
You see the footwork!
Come on, Gravison!
Quick feet they always eat!
So now riders are out. At the moment, riders are out. This is, as it stands like this, riders will go
And
out.
this is where you've got to tap them on the shoulder. Maybe you have to let them know by the 60th, 70th minute.
You're going to go.
It's go. It's go time.
I mean, they've only just kicked off the second half, riders.
They can take an easy feat for now, but
Massive moment then in Group C for Ducks America. They do leapfrog riders as it stands. Still 45 minutes, pretty much there or thereabouts left in this game on your screen. Are we going to see defending champions get knocked out in the group stages?
Rich did say he expected Ducks to get the job done. Just throwing that out there. Compliments for Rich if it happens. He's a believer.
Fired up in that game.
We need to give the people a 3-screener.
I'm just waiting for that couch to fall off the stage. you two keep jumping around. We're going to see you disappear in a minute. But
passionate about the e-sport.
Oh, big chance here for SPQ. SPQ, bang one in. And that really sinks the riders. And if anything, it puts riders bottom of the group. And SPQR, while they'd be out, they'd be fifth.
It does indeed, as it stands. SPQR jump up to 10 points. Ducks there on 12 points. Riders still on 9 points. Big moves happening everywhere in all the matches now. Goliath, though, pull one back as well against RB Leipzig.
Ducks, since going 1-0 up, I've been watching this game, have been electric. Power shot off the crossbar. They've been creating chance after chance after chance. They can smell blood in the water, and they can smell a second goal to potentially put it out of Atletico's reach.
Stop it. One more.
Goliath also getting sucked into that a little bit. They'd be level on points with Ducks. Doesn't matter unless riders make a comeback.
And the situation is a little bit, when you're reading into this, Ajax doesn't have a lot to play for. It might be the best matchup that Ducks could have actually had in this sequence or circumstance. Everybody else, they got a horse in the race, or a race full of horses. They have some sort of something on the line.
First one worked.
Yeah, thank you. You said where I was trying to get.
We're just watching Goliath on Leipzig. The other two teams are making changes at the moment, so we're not missing out on anything. Don't worry, don't panic, people. At the moment, though, there is a bit of a chance here. Goliath trying to stop out Leipzig. Man, if they could turn it around to get a draw here, that would be great for them. And obviously, Ajax losing in their game. So we do go back. SPQR 1-0 up now. They are the last game they will be to finish, actually, because they're in this group stage. Because everybody else is about 20 minutes ahead of them now. So riders, oh man, what a storyline this would be to lose out. It was insane that we didn't get the defending world champion at the E-World Cup. Obviously, when you had the qualifiers last year, to see the defending champions, the reigning champions, go out in group stage, to be grouped. Massive for Tuga, who himself is playing in every single competition at this game as 8 here in Saudi Arabia.
They have to get an opportunity there. It opens up, right player, right time, right position, wrong pass.
Do riders know? That's the question as well at the moment. That they are out of this. Obviously, they know what's happening in their game. Do they know what's happening around the ground? They're looking for an equaliser. SPQR then take it away from them.
Not falling for riders at the minute. They're keeping the pressure up. They change formation. They're going for it. More bodies in the final third, but it just doesn't seem to be
straight pass.
Aggie, have you been there sometimes a tournament just doesn't go your way?
Yeah, I mean, there are some days where it's just not clicking and you're looking for solutions, and it's very methodical players, both of them, so they've been trying plan A, plan B, plan C. I still don't want to count them out just because it's them. I'll give them the benefit of doubt, but time is running out for them. But I think we'll see constant pressure very, very soon from them, just going all out attack. And if they can get a 1-1 goal, I think there's definitely opportunities for them.
And we heard from Zizinho when he was talking about the Riders, and he was like, yeah, they're a great team, they defend great, but they don't score too many goals. And now they're up against it, they have to change their mentality, they have to get off that line. You know, he said if it's working for you, that's great, but it hasn't worked for them in groups. They haven't had the wins. They've got one win in the entire 10 matches so far.
7 minutes left to play for Ducks. 7 minutes to hold on to that lead. They win that game, they can smell the knockouts. So SPQR are doing them a massive favour at the current moment, and it could be too. SPQR on the edge of the box, the extra pass, twisting, turning, opening up the space, good defending.
And the counter
Riders, they're trying to look for something. We're coming out of a pause on Ajax Brazil Ducks. We're going to switch over as soon as we get a chance to, unless this mounts to anything for Riders in the yellow. No, SPQR back, passing it back to the keeper. Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! Big goal.
Luck.
Big goal.
That was luck.
I can't believe it.
Lifeline.
What?
Shock.
They're going to be full pressure, constant pressure, team press on, double teams, bringing everything to them.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that. Two Grandoni don't really know what they've just seen, neither can the boys from SPQR.
I can't believe that's the horrendous moment. The counter presses on. They can't buy a goal. You see, got bodies running, goalkeeper with the clearance, wrong time to hit it. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Talk about some good fortune.
That doesn't happen, does it?
The FIFA gods were on their side.
At this level, that is something else, Aggie. What did you make of that mistake?
Yeah, you can't make those mistakes, and especially not in this situation here. But I've been speaking about it, and I told you guys, Tuga and Andoni, last minute goal, 2-1, getting past the groups.
It's not enough though.
You heard it here.
Ducks. Oh, a great chance.
It's not enough, Aggie. Not enough still.
So, as it stands, it would still be Ducks, right?
Still be Ducks, not enough. They're winning.
Because of the win. So it's still, a win is still required
There's still
for Riders.
15 minutes left.
Yeah.
Riders need one more goal. Ducks have 4 minutes left to see out this. Ajax on the attack though.
Defended very, very well, have Ducks in this game, but Ajax have thrown bodies forward.
That's dangerous. I mean, a goal here would obviously nail the Ducks, but they've got to be very careful to play this one out. Just keep possession, look for that last play. Or anything, just play out the game. Just keep hold of the ball. Don't let Ajax have it. And that is exactly what they're now going to do. They're going to try and run that clock down, wait for that extra time, and just kick it straight out. Get that whistle blown, get those 3 points done. And then it's all on the Riders. Last chance attack perhaps here for Ajax. No, it should be cleared. The danger should go out. And that will be Ducks America picking up their points. They've done their job. And now it's over to the Riders to see what they can do against SPQR. Riders need to score a goal.
Every single eyeball turns to this game in the arena.
Oh. A lot of time to work
ticking
with.
down. 15 minutes left in game. Mike, do you think that's enough?
Plenty of time.
They haven't scored much, so have they?
But they're going to be an all-out pressure now. It just creates a lot more spacing, and then you have this instant counter press. When they lose the ball, well, hopefully they'll lose the ball there, but when they lose the ball, you'll see bodies take a lot of spaces and man mark a lot of the outlets for the other attacking team or the other squad.
Down to 2 teams now. Ducks are currently sitting in that seat.
Great strike.
Push wide, corner.
Dangerous. Very, very dangerous from set plays.
They're really good from the corners. We've seen them scoring the near post corners. That's what they're looking for. Keep your eye on it. You can see they're looking for that position. They're trying to defend it heavily. They actually went deeper on the corner. And the ball cleared out, but it can get recycled back in. Still plenty of players forward. So they can work it down the left side. They've got really no options there. They have to recycle it. And in the end, SPQR cleared the danger. Time is ticking against them now, Rich. 84 minutes gone. It's got to be do or die.
These are the moments. These are the championship level moments where the best players in the world show their worth. The question is, we've not seen it for 9 rounds of games from this team, from this club. They've not shown us championship level performances. They've got 5 minutes to save their tournament.
What can they do? They'll try and play it, work it down the right, through the middle. Players there, but good defending once again. SBQR, they can just run the clock down here. They're just keeping hold of it. I mean, for SBQR, it means nothing. They go out the tournament regardless. For Riders, they have to get a goal. They have nothing else to lose here. They have to go for it. There's a chance. A through ball, maybe no. Not going to play it. Going to go down the right-hand wing. The time is ticking. Are they really going to go for that last-minute play? No, they're not. It's just not going their way here.
That's it. 20 seconds left to play. They've won the ball back, but they've not got time to get it forward. SBQR have won it. Ducks America go through.
What have we seen, guys? That says it all. Tuga devastated. Ducks elated. The Spanish outfit had all their ducks in a row, didn't they? For that one, they made it through. Tuga and Doni, defending champions. I hate to say it, they're eliminated.
That's 2 of the 3 major events that we're going to see here in Saudi. We won't have a repeat champion. Ubit didn't qualify for the FIFAe World Cup. The E-Club champions, Tuga and Doni, they're going home early. They had all the opportunities, they just couldn't score goals.
Too many draws. Draws will ruin you in one leg of FIFA. And look at Tuga, he's absolutely desolate. They came in as a lot of people's favourite.
Gravison, can you give us a tweet? I know you're watching. Tell us your thoughts or give us a text. Show us what it means to get Ducks America through. Tuga, gutted for you, mate. Would have loved to have seen you go through to the 3rd day at the knockouts. He's trying to just compute what happened to him and his team. Can't really put it into words right now. Doesn't know what's happened. Can't really get a shot of Andoni to see how he's feeling. None of them have actually spoken to each other yet. They're just staying in their own little bubbles with their own
He
emotions.
just needs to reset his mind. Obviously, like you say, he's got the Nations, he's got E-World Cup, he's here for the duration. One of the only 6
This is the
players.
one, though, Lee wanted. He was
Absolutely. He's
defending
the
champion
defending
here.
champion. This was such a big one for him. And to go out in that way, just 1 win in the entire groups, draws are plenty. And we've said it so many times, draws don't win your tournaments.
Yeah, well, really great sportsmanship then from the Ducks boys. You can see them in the back of shot. They're just coming over to show their support and commiserations to the boys from Riders. Well, you can see Spen down there as well. Spen, thoughts, please. Drama yet again.
It's what we do here at the E-Club World Cup. It's come down right to the wire. I'm with the Ducks America guys. You've done it. You're into the knockouts. How are you feeling?
Insane. I think there was a long time that I haven't felt that good playing competitive FIFA, and today is the day that proves that every single minute of training was good.
Does it make it different to 1v1 when you've got a team as well and you know you've won it not just for your teammates here but for the organisation you represent?
Yeah, it is much different, and also it's tough in this kind of games because sometimes I made mistakes and Neat helps me to cope with them, and sometimes he makes mistakes and I help him cope with them. But I think we're a good duo, and it's not the way we want it to be, but we're still alive in the tournament, and tomorrow is a new day.
That's what it's all about. It's just about staying alive. We can actually take a look at the goal that won you the game right now. I don't think we can see it, but they're watching it at home. You won your first game yesterday. You won a game in the middle, or the last game of yesterday. Then you hadn't won today. You had to win today, and you did it. Talk me through the goal that you scored, if you remember it.
Yeah, it was Neat. It was Neat's brilliance. We all know that he was one of the best mechanical players in the game. He knows almost every skill move, and that's just his show. No words.
And that was a big clutch moment, wasn't it? Because you had to win today, that final game. It was like a knockout match. You hadn't won today, but you found a way to do it. How hard was it?
It was super hard. And also because yesterday, I feel like we deserved more against every team but Ajax. I think they were probably the toughest opponent of yesterday, and we knew it would be like almost impossible to win. but we clutched up and we're still alive.
Great work to Ducks America. Go and enjoy yourselves, but not too much because you've got a big day ahead of you tomorrow. We're going to jump back into here. Slightly different emotion in this booth, but we've got to talk to our current champions who are not going to be repeating that championship. If you don't mind, I'm just going to walk into here. Sorry, Tuga, I know it's a tough time to talk, but we'd love just to grab you for a minute. I know you're a professional. You're not going to be keeping the championship, unfortunately. You've exited in the group stage. Have you got any immediate thoughts?
No, we are really disappointed. I think we played good this day, although we didn't get a single win. It's tough to take, but obviously we didn't play our best like in the previous year. I think in the whole season we played a good FIFA, but I think that the group was the group of death. Although it's not an excuse, obviously. I want to congratulate all teams that have made to the round of 16 and made the best win.
It's not the last we'll see of you. You've qualified for each of the 3 events coming up in the next 2 weeks, so you could even have another championship like last year. It won't be the Club World Cup, but it could be E-Nations for Portugal, or it could be the E-World Cup. What would that mean to you, lifting a trophy again this year?
Yeah, it will mean a lot. I'm looking forward to that goal, although I thought we could have a big chance of winning the DC Club World Cup. But it wasn't possible, it wasn't meant to be, and that thing, we have to think what went wrong, to analyse the games and move on.
Well done anyway. Great effort, Tuga and Doni, of course, and riders Atletico Madrid. We're going to go back this way and we're going to talk to the Man City boys who have also unfortunately left the tournament despite getting a win in that last game. Shells, I know it's probably an emotional time for you, but was it nice to close out with a win at least?
Not really. I think we just kind of laughed every time we scored because it was like everything we worked on finally happened, but it was a bit too late. So yeah, it's just a bit of a shame.
Any regrets with how this tournament's gone? Anything you could have done differently?
Not really any regrets. We worked as hard as we could leading up to it. It just didn't go to plan. I don't think there's any regrets. We stuck with our formation that we learned and tried to and trained with, but yeah, it just didn't work out, so no regrets.
Ryan, Man City were the only English football team here. There's other English players obviously representing different orgs, but it was England's only chance of glory. It was the chance of a quadruple. It's not going to happen this year, but you're so experienced at this tournament. You guys have been so good at qualifying again and again and again. How have you found it?
Yeah, obviously it's a great event, but again, we've reached this stage 5 times now, and we just keep failing at like a certain hurdle. So it's something that we need to overcome. But again, I think we played all right in some cases. Just last minute, we conceded 3 goals or 3 games. We've lost last minute. So it's something that obviously if you end up conceding last minute, you're going to give yourself a difficult hill to climb. And yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, there was a lot of close games. There was really small margins. What does the future hold for this partnership, Ryan and Shells and Man City?
It's not in my hands, you know. I don't know. Like obviously, I love playing with Shells. I wouldn't change Shells for anybody. Like genuinely, for 2v2 events, you could tell me the best Dosari, Tex. It doesn't matter. I'll still play with Shells if that's something that was in my hands. But again, I don't know.
Well, I love that commitment from you guys. They are a great team. And listen, unfortunately, it didn't work out today. But thank you guys for sharing the experience with us in the interviews. No more City, no more riders. We knew these groups were going to throw up some big upsets. That's exactly what they've done. But we do know who's going to be in the next round, and I can't wait for them. Back to you guys.
Yeah, we do. Thanks, Ben. 16 now left. We start with 24, of course. Only 16 make it through to tomorrow. Massive upset then, seeing City. I mean, Atlanta Wave and Stingray said they were the biggest team. And then the defending champions, they're out if you're just joining us. No more riders, Atletico Madrid. The story, though, is Ducks, isn't it? Ducks America going through. It only took 1 goal as well over Ajax Brazil. And this is where that goal came from. It was about 55 minutes on the clock. Rich, go on if you would.
It's just the brilliance of Nate. It really is. You give him the ball inside the box and you say, go and win us the game. Go and do us something magical. And for a lot of today, you heard it with the video there, it just wasn't working. It wasn't clicking for them. They needed one moment. And in the knockouts, they're a serious, serious task. I think they come alive in the knockouts.
And that's also why they made that shift. They made that switch. They brought Need in. He gives you something special, yes. And a lot of competitors can't replicate that. They don't have the mechanical ability. You saw 3 skill moves in quick succession. Goalkeepers laying on the ground, he just taps it in. In a big moment, in the biggest moment. You have to have that, and there he was. He arrived. That's why you get paid the big bucks.
They've got Diogo. What does he add in that third kind of man role there? Anything, Aggie?
Yeah, he has experience as a player himself. He's been at many competitions, so they're a strong trio, and they definitely showed that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just clarify then who's going through to tomorrow. That's what everyone wants to know, who's still with us. So C and D up first, RB Leipzig, of course they go through. AFC Ajax, a little bit touch and go in the end, they go through. Goliath, wow, we didn't know if they were going to hold on to their spot. They do, as do Ducks America, courtesy of that man Neat. Well, in Group D as well, Lee, Atlanta Wave sit nice and pretty at the top there. Bromby in second, Apogee Poland, and Mike's boys, DC United. Let's go straight then to A and B. Just if you didn't join us earlier, there was drama as well over there. Basel, Raptors, a local side, Footwiz, and Hollywood with that brilliant Hollywood ending. Napoli, Team Ninjas in pyjamas, Team Hullet Ninjas in pyjamas, Crow MX and Team Exceed by the skin of their teeth. But one thing's for sure, we're going to have a new champion for this year in the Club World Cup. We're still waiting to see who it is. Final thoughts for tomorrow. Any upsets on the card? Richard Buckley, quick.
No, I think that the majority of the favourites will prove themselves in 2 legs of FIFA.
Okay, well, we do know now, don't we, that all the permutations are set for who's playing who as well. Hollywood got a pretty tough draw.
Yeah, they knew that though. They were just hoping to get into that.
It might have
position to
changed,
have that draw, and they're kind of playing with house money, so to speak, because coming into today, no one probably in the stadium, in the arena, on the show, in display, behind the scenes, production, whoever you're talking to, thought they had a chance. Sorry, I just slapped them in the face. Thought they had a chance to get out of that group. 1 point. One point.
Lee, I'm going to take you.
I was the biggest optimist. I was interviewing him. I was saying, I think there's something here. But
Lee,
there's a lot. There's a lot.
We don't stop.
It doesn't stop. I'm going to take you to D, because we didn't see much of D, did we, though? Wave coming out on top there.
Yeah.
Under the radar a bit. Great job for them.
Yeah, I mean, you say under the radar, I think almost everyone bar 2 of us had them top in the group. They went a bit of a long way around doing it, but they got there in the end. Obviously, we didn't watch much of D towards the end there, because obviously C was where the drama was. But yeah, I mean, Atalanta coming out, Stingray, obviously we know what he's all about, getting that new partner. Talking in English with Fuma, which we discussed yesterday, and absolutely it seems to be clicking there. But I mean, I just wanted to quickly say, we asked at the start of the day, I was talking to Aga, like, any surprises today, anyone shocks? None of us said, Fnatic are going out, Man City are going out, Riders are going out, not even thought of.
One word, Aggie, on your boys, Bromby. They're still in it as well.
Impressive. I mean, they showed up both days, they delivered, but I think they're also very aware of that tomorrow is a new day, everything is reset. I don't think they'll think too much about whether you finished 1, 2, 3 or 4th in your group. Anything can happen.
Well, a new day tomorrow, isn't it, guys? It is knockout FIFA. We start with a round of 16, then we have the quarterfinals. At the end of day 3, we'll only have 8 players left in it. We started yesterday with 24. Now we're down to our final 16. It's about to get even hotter in this arena. It's blistering hot outside in the Saudi heat. We can't wait for it to turn up a notch in here tomorrow. Thanks all of you guys on the stage with me, and to Spencer and Brandon as well, who have gone to get an early night, I believe. Anyway, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow as we come to the end of day 3 tomorrow. We'll find our final 8 in this, the FIFAe Club World Cup. Come back for more drama. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.